How is it going, my friends? Is it Tuesday? It is Tuesday. Oh man, we got some fun times going on here. The news is so strange right now. You notice that Kamala, all the news with Kamala, as Kamala's doing an interview. Kamala was in an interview. Kamala was at a campaign rally. And all the news for Trump is Trump left his supporters in the middle of the desert. Trump supporter brought guns to Trump rally. Trump supporters are beating the crap out of each other at campaign rallies. It's insane how many crazy stories just follow Donald Trump around. Donald Trump is literally a one-man circus. Shut up, Bob. I just we got a video just for you, Bob. I got this one. I was thinking about Bob when I saw this video. Fox host endorses Kamala Harris. I'm just waiting for Bob to come on here and be like, Bob's gonna come on here at one point and be like, I voted for Kamala. I had to join the cool kids. Had to join them. This week we got the Lincoln Project just released a video, which should be amazing. I'm sure there's going to be Donald Trump supporters left in deserts on manure farms. Oh man, there's gonna be so much good stuff. The Nazi boat rally. It's a circus, man. Like I said, I don't know whether I'm gonna be super goddamn sad that all these nutcases aren't around for me to laugh at all the time, or if I'm gonna be fucking joyous and I just retire, right? Do I just after Kamala wins, do I just go off into the sunset? Do I just delete the channel? My work here is done. We have mocked MAGA into oblivion. It is over. It is Jover. Oh, man. What up, Dark Cash? What up, Catherine? What up, R's wife? Good to see you guys. They are not having a good week, Catherine. What's up, Nathan? They're not having a good week, and that's why I'm kind of stoked for this last week in the Republican Party. It just came out 2 hours ago, so it's probably got all the good stuff. I know you guys we saw the Nazi boat rally. I know you guys saw the Donald Trump listening to music for 40 minutes at a town hall. You can't pick all of the above, Mike. God damn it. What's up, Mike? What's up, Tia? How insane do you have to be to show up to a Trump town hall where he takes 2 questions and then he's a couple people have heat stroke? The people were asking for the doors to the building to be open, which I think is also obscenely ironic that these are people that don't believe in climate change. It's mid-October. And they're fucking having heat stroke in a building because the doors are closed at a Trump town hall. How do they not have air conditioning? There's so many questions, but it's super goddamn ironic that a bunch of people that don't believe in climate change are just getting fucking torched by hurricanes or falling out from heat stroke in the middle of October at Trump town halls. And then after 2 people fall out in the middle of his goddamn town hall, he's just you know what I'm going to do? We're going to listen to music. It's so weird. Who does that? It's the strangest thing. It's showing up to buy pot from a pot dealer. And you're hey, bro, I just came to get an eighth. And he's take a seat. And you're I just wanted to grab it and go. And he's have a seat. Have you ever listened to Guns N' Roses before, bro? How about Ave Maria? And you know that awkward time? You know that awkward time when your friend wants you to listen to like a song that they like? Like they're like, no, bro, cue this up. Cue this up. And then they play the music and then they just look at you and they just watch you the whole time. They're like, you like it, right? You like it, right? Right? You like it? Like, I don't know, bro. It's been 12 seconds. We haven't even got past the intro. Hold on. Like, you know, that's how it had to have been. Like, Donald Trump is just up there doing he, like, moves his head while he dances. That's like, he's just like an old white man. He doesn't know how to dance, so it's even more awkward. He doesn't even vibe. There's no vibe. And also, like, if it was like a rally, like, you might be able to get away with 40 minutes of music, okay? You get up there, and you're like, you know what, guys? Hey, a couple people fell out. We played Ave Maria on the way out. I'm not fucking making that up. They played Ave Maria as the people were being assisted out of the building after they fell out from heat stroke. It's the weirdest shit ever. But he's up there, you know, if he's up there at a rally and he's been droning for like 40 fucking minutes. And then he's like, you know what? Couple people fell out. You guys should get hydrated. Form a line. Go to the water station. Get yourself some water, some Gatorade. He's like, while you're doing that, I'm gonna stand up here and we're gonna listen to the YMCA. We're gonna listen to Guns N' Roses. We're gonna listen to Ave Maria. Okay? Like, you might be able to get away with that at a rally. That's a possibility, specifically on a manure farm next to Coachella. Okay, you could probably do that. But how fucking awkward did it have to be at a Trump town hall where two people fell the fuck out and had to be escorted out of the building while people are asking for the doors to be opened? And he's like, I can't. You're not supposed to open the doors. They said you guys are just going to have to die. I'm really sorry. You guys are going to have to die. Did you guys already mail in your vote? If you didn't, make sure to leave your ID on your body. How awkward does it have to be to have all that shit happen and then Donald Trump just is like, you know what? Fuck it. And to make it even weirder, Kristi Noem was up there with him. Kristi Noem. Were they even in Kristi Noem's state? I don't think they were. Why is Kristi Noem traveling with Donald Trump to town halls? I think it's because he's senile. I think Kristi Noem might be Donald Trump's caretaker now. I think that's a possibility. But he's just up there, and Kristi Noem's like, I guess at one point Kristi Noem said to him, she's like, do you want to play the song? And he's like, what song? And she said, you wanted to play a specific song. And he's like, oh, that's right. And then they played Ave Maria again. It's the fucking weirdest stuff. What's happening, Doc? I'm going to have to say, what's up, Doc? That's how I'm going to say it when you come in. What's up, Doc? It's just insane. It's such a weird circus. And if we can mock MAGA out of existence, I'm going to call it a good life. I think I just, at that point, it's nothing but cigars and tequila and reading books. I'm calling it a good life. If we can mock MAGA out of existence, I'm taking that one. I'm just going to smoke cigars, drink tequila, and read books. Probably going to have to go on unemployment, though, because I don't have any money. So you guys better start donating. Let's watch the last week in the Republican Party, because good Lord, it has been a weird week in the Republican Party. So let's do what we like doing best. Let's watch the Lincoln Project hold the Republican Party accountable for all its weirdness.
Would you rather have the black president or the white president?
Look at this beautiful.
What? No. Dude, there's so much stuff that I haven't seen. Like, I see so much, and there's so much stuff I haven't seen. I gotta get that one more time. The words that come out of his mouth. Oh, no.
Would you rather have the black president or the white president?
Look at this beautiful swastika. There we go, white power.
We are going to take inflation and we are going to deflate it.
Jimmy Kimmel's a loser.
Dude, you know how many people were like, hell yeah, he is. That's exactly what we're going to do. Drill, baby, drill. Take inflation. Deflate it. These are simple people.
In a sane world.
Oh, they're simple
Inflation.
people.
And we are going to
What up, Ozzy?
deflate it.
Jimmy Kimmel's a loser.
What powder?
In a sane world with an unbiased media, this election wouldn't even be close.
You know what
you're
men
right.
love? Being nagged about how we talk.
Hannibal Lecter, why would he mention? Well, you know why? Because he was a sick puppy, and we have sick puppies coming into our country.
As a black man, yes, 0.1%, I resent Barack Obama accusing me of being a sexist and a race traitor.
Life is hard, but it's harder when you're.
Dude, who wants to see Jesse Waters have to... Who should Jesse Waters have to fight? Who should Jesse Waters have to fight? I think you put Jesse Waters in there with Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper versus Jesse Waters, right? Like, that seems like a good fight. Seems fair. Oh, Devious. No, he does not know that. He does not know that. Devious says, does he know the opposite of inflation is a recession? No, he does not know that. He doesn't know that right now we are at like 2.4% inflation. Okay, not only does Donald Trump not know this, but all the goddamn morons that are out there that support him don't know this either. We're at 2.4% inflation, and that is like literally where you want to be. We are about 0.5% off of like fucking utopia time. Okay, all of these dipshits probably think 0% inflation is like where we're supposed to hit. How much you want to make a bet Donald Trump thinks we're supposed to be at 0% inflation? How much you want to make a bet Donald Trump thinks that during the time he was in office that we were at 0% inflation? Jesus Christ, they're dumb. It's just not even a question anymore. You know who? Doc, you know who he should have to fight? He should have to fight Amanda Nunes. Because Amanda Nunes has always talked about how she can beat up dudes, right? And all these like MAGA morons that are like, I could take any woman, MMA fighter or not, bro. No woman could beat a man in a fight. Like, every one of them should have to line up and just get their fucking ass handed to them by Amanda Nunes. I would pay so much money to watch that. Like $100 a fight. I'm not even shitting you guys. If there was like the bar to entry to watching MAGA moron, misogynist, bullshit assholes get just their face beat in by Amanda Nunes, I'd pay $100 for each fight. I don't think I'd ever get tired of it. I'd lose my house. It'd be like one of these incels at a strip club, okay? I'd be going to the ATM machine over and over again. Like, I need another 100. I can't get enough. I wouldn't be able to. I just have to keep going back. My wife would leave me. My kids would suffer. They wouldn't have the ability to get an education. No higher learning for them. Dude, I wouldn't be able to stop. It'd be amazing. What up, Alan? God, I just... Some of these ideas, we need them to happen, okay? So these are great ideas. We need them to happen.
Yeah,
This and a race traitor.
Life is hard, but it's harder when you're stupid.
yeah. But we'll listen to a couple of songs if you want, and that's okay with me. I like it. So we'll do that. We'll do those songs that we had mentioned, Justin. And if Justin doesn't get it right, he gets fired.
See what I
I'm telling you, it's like when you go to a friend's house and you're like wanting to hang out, and he's like, bro, listen to this music. I found this new band. And you're like, cool, anyways, how's the family? And he's like, hold on. We're going to listen to some music. Okay, all right. I wonder why people leave his rallies early. I can't figure it out, guys. I don't know. I don't understand. Why would anybody... Well, I don't know. I would have stayed for that shit. Oh, God, I would have been laughing the whole goddamn time.
I do to my assistant.
No.
Keep him in line.
I've heard from HR. Send her.
Every single day they have to experience transgenders at their school.
Sir, you should not call Chris Christie a fat pig.
The penis of a
Is he still
13-year-old
talking
boy.
about that?
Uh-oh.
Whoa!
I just
What?
thought. Just a thought from a very brilliant mind.
They have to experience people that think that they're bunny rabbits, kitty cats, dogs. They get meowed at.
Dude, is this the Moms for Liberty thing? Is this the Moms for Liberty thing? I heard JD Vance was at a Moms for Liberty rally, and there is no funnier scenario for an SNL skit. If anybody knows somebody that works at SNL, please get them to make a skit about JD Vance at Moms for Liberty. I was like, dude, there's so many eyeliner jokes you could make. Dude, if they could get Ron DeSantis to show up to a Moms for Liberty meeting, is it like a meeting? I guess it's a meeting, right? If they could get Ron DeSantis, High Heels Ron, and eyeliner JD Vance to show up to a Moms for Liberty event and talk about transgenderism, God, that is like that's like the singularity. I don't know where we go from there. That's like the peak of comedy. Mom DeSantis getting very upset about everything. There are transgenders in our school. God, he is such a mom. And then JD Vancer with JD Vancer with his eyeliner. Oh my God, it would be amazing. Dude, they have to deal with, why would they bring kids to this shit? Are these kids going to give testimonials? Are these kids going to like get up on the mic and one of these kids is going to be like, so yeah, on Wednesday there was this kid. And this kid, we third grade, and this kid says she a rabbit, and so she was eating rabbit food in the school. Yeah, shit's fucked up, guys. Why are there kids on stage? Oh my God, it's nuts. It's like, it's psychotic. It really is. Let's hear what she had to say just one more time. Let's just hear what she had to say.
Uh-oh. I just thought. Just a thought from a very brilliant mind.
They have to experience people that think that they're bunny rabbits, kitty cats, dogs. They get meowed at. They get barked at.
He is not a fat pig.
Yes, there was a riot.
Hold on. Even when I was a kid, people would fucking meow at you and bark at you. Okay, that's kid behavior. Have these people ever been around children? I'm gonna guess not. They're probably not allowed to be around children, huh? 200 yards. 200 yards, ma'am. That's what the law says.
Riot at the Capitol on January the 6th.
Fat pig.
Yes, there was a riot at the Capitol on January the 6th, but there was still a peaceful transfer of power in this country. And
Kids scratch me on the back because they identify as a cat.
We support Trump
They
because
did
in
bring
Trump,
him up there.
in China, we call him Dong Wang, which means the king who knows everything.
President Donald.
What? Dude, that was some fucking Chinese election interference right there. No racism. Sorry. They really did bring those kids up there for a testimonial. You know what would be great? If it came out that, like, you know how Donald Trump claims, like, he's like, Kamala buses in all of her followers. She doesn't have any followers or else they'd leave early because her campaigns, they're not big, they're very small. And the only people that show up to them, they all get paid. They all get bussed in. My supporters, we don't even give them buses. But it would be hilarious if you found out that Donald Trump was paying children to be on stage. Oh, my God. Oh, let's go back to that other guy. We got to go back to him for this. We got to see this one more time. This is amazing. God, this is amazing. God, I
As
love
a
this
cat.
project.
We support Trump because in China, we call him Dong Wang, which means the king who knows everything.
President Donald Trump is the master of his fate.
Oh, he
He's
pays
the
the
captain
parents,
of his
course.
soul.
He is not a fat pig.
Also, we have many Azerasians. I did a little
What?
one, a little tiny one with a small group, and then I did
Did he say Azure Asians? Like the color? What's an Azure Asian?
He is
makes
not a
up new
fat
stuff
pig.
all the time.
Also, we have many Azerasians.
Dude, I am not tripping, right? He says Azure Asians? What does that mean? Dude, I need the Trump-splaining AI. I need help.
I did a little one, a little tiny one with a small group, and then I did a really big one.
I haven't seen that one, Alan.
I did a big one.
They're
He's
blue
a fat
people.
pig, sir.
Exactly, Steven. Oh, is he trying to say Arizonans? Oh my god, that is so amazing. And this is the dude. Oh my god. What are we doing, America? How is this even a thing right now? Oh my god. How is this a thing right now? How is Donald Trump tied with Kamala Harris? What do you guys think? Do you guys think we should just split the United States of America? Or not split. What if we build a wall from like Washington, the northern Washington, all the way to the southern California, okay? And then, I don't know, like, East Coast, you guys are going to figure your own shit out, okay? It's not our fault you guys are all fucking fractured over there. East Coast, you got to figure your own shit out, okay? Like, I'm sorry. But, like, on the West Coast, we could pretty much build a wall from the top of Washington to the bottom of California, and we'd be good, okay? New York, I'm sorry. Like, I love you guys. I love all you guys on the East Coast, all right? But you guys are going to have to figure out your own thing. Because, like, you guys got Florida. You guys got fucking North Carolina. I don't know what to say to you guys. I'm just saying, I'm thinking we start building the wall now. Because we don't want any Azure Asians in California, okay? Y'all can't decide whether or not you want that dude or Kamala Harris because you guys are like, bro, she's a prosecutor. Bro, Donald Trump said that she needs to take a cognitive test. Bro, she's going to come take all the guns, bro. Like, that's your entire reasoning for why you want to vote for Trump over Kamala Harris. We don't want any Azure Asians in California. You guys, you would be poisoning the blood of Californians with your Azure Asian blood. We're going to build a wall. We're going to make Arizona pay for it. Redunk. Sorry, Redunk. You got to stay in Arizona. Catherine, I'm sorry. I don't know. You guys you got to build your own wall. Look, we got to look after our own. It's just the way it is. I'm sorry, guys. I love you guys. I do. Okay, they can have Florida, all right? You're a Marylander. So, I don't know what that wall looks like. Look, guys, I failed geography. I couldn't find Maryland on a map, okay? I'm from the fucking trailer park. Michigan, I'm going to be honest with you guys, Michigan. If y'all turn red this year and you vote for Trump, Michigan, we are 100% building a wall around Michigan. You guys are never allowed to leave your state ever again. Ever again. If Michigan turns red this year, I am going to disavow the Detroit Lions. You guys were my second favorite team. Barry Sanders is my favorite running back of all time. If Michigan turns red this year, I will no longer say Barry Sanders. From now on, it'll be Bo fucking Jackson. That's right. Guy played 3 years and got his hip broke. And I will tell everybody that I meet that Bo Jackson was a better running back than Barry Sanders. I will no longer tell people Calvin Johnson was a good receiver. I will never, ever talk about Cecil Fielder ever again in my life. Okay? I swear to God, Detroit, you are dead to me if Michigan votes red this year. God damn it. I'm losing it right now. I cannot believe this is even a question. We are what? We're 22 days out, 3 weeks from election. I got my ballot. If you guys haven't gotten your ballots and you're in California, you better check your status. You better check your status. If you've gotten your ballot, mail it in. Mike, I'm sorry. You live in Florida. That's your problem, not mine, bro. It doesn't matter, to be honest with you. Like, I can't even give you guys in Florida any real empathy, because in like 2 to 3 years, you guys are going to be underwater. The whole time you guys have been making fun of California. For how many years did people make fun of California? They were like, California's going to fall off in the ocean. Oh, half of California. It's that big old fault running through it, California. When we were kids in California, we were afraid that half of California was going to fall off in the ocean. And it turns out the whole goddamn time, California was fine. Florida, on the other hand, Florida's fucked. You guys are setting up streaks for hurricanes. You guys, 5 years from now, you're going to be talking about 250 days straight hurricane every day of our lives. It's time to move. It's time to move. That's all I'm saying. Get out of Florida. It's not good. I'm sorry, Dark. Look, dude, you need to get out and fucking canvas or something. Do something about your state, okay? My state is over here doing the goddamn job of so many states. You know how many electoral votes California has, okay? All right? You guys want me to get real uppity here in a second? I'm about to get so high up on my California liberal elite soapbox, okay? We are carrying this team. We are carrying it. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's see what else we got. This one just interested me because, first of all, I saw Brian Tyler Cohen in a sharp-ass suit. I was like, of course we got to watch Brian Tyler Cohen. But Fox host endorses Kamala Harris. I'm wondering, because this always drives me nuts. They always say Fox host, and then it turns out to be like the one like liberal that Fox host comes on to own. You know, like they try to they bring him on to talk shit to him, and it's always that person. So I'm hoping that Brian Tyler Cohen throws out like Brett Baer. Who do you think it is? Okay, and you guys don't cheat. If you already know who it is, if you watch this video, no cheating. Who do you think the Fox host is that BTC is going to tell us about? No spoilers, okay? We got Trump throws a childish tantrum in a hostile interview. I mean, that just sounds amazing. We got our brethren, progressive brethren over there, the Humanist Report. Because I don't know if you guys know who Asmongold is, but I was watching Asmongold the other day, and he's like a Warcraft guy. He's a video game guy. It's so weird nowadays to see how strong the grift has became. Like, you got this guy, what's his name? God damn it. Something Pants. But his channel used to be like video game critiques, and if you go back far enough in like his Xbox channel, he was like super woke, and he was like, there can't be enough trans and gay people in video games. There needs to be more to like make it like it only gets better. And now his whole channel, like God, what is the guy's name? It's something Pants. Andy Pants. I want to show you guys this guy's channel, because I want to show you guys how crazy this grift is. This is how crazy this grift is. So this guy's old channel was like pro LGBT and stuff, and he had no views. Because being on the left, you don't get views. Like, you don't get views. The right is a circus. It's entertaining. The way we get views on the left is by mocking the right, but you've got 300 people over here because it's so goddamn easy to make fun of these people. It's like insanely basic to make fun of these people, so everybody does it on the left. So it's a very competitive sphere for mocking the right, okay? But on the right, all you have to do is say you don't like woke people, you don't like LGBT, black people are taking your jobs, Mexican people are taking your black jobs. You just claim somebody is taking somebody's job, and it's like you're the most popular person ever. So just take a look at this guy's channel now. This guy, by the way, has like community posts in his Xbox channel where he's like pro-LGBT, pro-diversity. And there's nothing in here but woke. Why did nobody play it? What went wrong? And by the way, when you view these, it's what went wrong was that they included woke stuff. who killed masculinity. When did they kill masculinity? That's another question for me. Like, I think this is one of those things where people are like, they made masculinity less popular, so they killed it. But that's like saying, like, as a white dude, you lost all your privilege because they're giving LGBT people rights, or because they want to give, like, you know, programs to immigrants. Like, you don't lose anything because somebody else gains stuff. Like, I didn't lose masculinity. I still watch TV shows and there's tons of masculine people. I still play video games that have tons of masculine people in it. And yet these guys are like, they're sounding the alarm. They're like, there's no masculine people. You know the funniest thing about these guys too? Not a goddamn one of them can fight. Not a single one of these fucking incels can fight. I want to see one of these jerk-offs that make these videos get in a goddamn ring. That's what I want to see. Jesus Christ. They're killing masculinity. Crybaby ass bitches. All right? Nothing says masculinity like getting on a video and crying like a little bitch. Fucking A, dude. These people are so fucking funny. Anyways, masculine, gay. Which is really funny, because isn't that a chick? Is Mercy a gay chick? I didn't know she was lesbian. That's hot. Let's see. The woke apocalypse. Look at this. I get in trouble for using the F word too much. This motherfucker has a title, a thumbnail that says gay shit on it. They're like, they're censoring us. They don't want us to be able to be seen. He has a video with 493K views, and the thumbnail is gay shit. They're censoring us. Our free speech, our freedoms. They're taking it from us. Jesus Christ. I like that this is a huge, amazing juxtaposition. I like that he has the thumbnail gay shit right next to the thumbnail, are gamers homophobic? Oh, man. Pussification. I love the dudes talking about pussification. Like, dog, I guarantee you can't fight. Dude. Oh, my God. Anyways, yeah, this is the dude's channel. Gay, black, and disabled. Can I prove that games are work? Masculinity crisis. There is a masculinity crisis. It starts at Andy Pants Gaming. This motherfucker. Holy shit. What up, Jeremy? Dude, I'm just saying, put him in the ring, dude. Put him in the ring. I got a 11-year-old that's a brown belt in Kuk Sowan. I bet he whooped the shit out of Andy Pants, dog. Let's put the sparring gear on. Dude, watch my 11-year-old son choke out a YouTuber. It'd be fucking hilarious. Anyways, we got the liberal redneck. We got an anti-woke video because I was thinking about this dumb shit that people have been talking about. It's hilarious. And I like, look, am I as progressive as Noah Samson? No. Am I as progressive as Mike Figueredo? No. But I love the dudes. Like, we share some values, and I continue to point this out to people on the left. You don't have to all be the same. It's okay, like to have an abortion stance that may be more nuanced than there is no argument. You can have different reasons for your beliefs, in my opinion, and be okay. So, I like Noah Samson because he's funny. I like Mike because he's an intelligent person and he says a lot of smart shit. But do I agree? Look, I guess I'm just like playing all the progressives today because here's Kyle Kalinske as well. Do I like everything Kyle Kalinske says? No. Do we disagree on some of the stuff that he believes as far as Israel, Gaza goes? Probably. But I think some of their shit's amazing, so we're gonna watch some of those videos. Anyways, let's watch the BTC one. Let's watch the BTC one. Yeah, exactly, Ozzy. It's such a strange thing. Oh, sorry, Devious. I got up. Devious, way to bring me back. Devious. Asmongold. I got off track. I've been up for a long time today. Asmongold. a dude that like plays video games and talks about video games and stuff has like recently been grifting off the right-wing shit. And I'm guessing it's because most of the people that are probably in his chat are probably incels, and he probably says shit that like is like mildly left-wingish because he seems like a mildly leftish kind of guy. And then he sees that they don't like the stuff he says, and so then he's like, oh shit, I gotta keep my audience. So then he starts saying right-wing stuff. And I don't ever know. I don't know. Maybe he's trolling, maybe he's not trolling. I don't know. But like I'll watch like him like watch a Donald Trump video, and Donald Trump will say like they're taking their jobs, and he'll go based. And Donald Trump will go, we're gonna cut taxes, we're gonna put tariffs on everything. Everything's gonna be as cheap as possible. You'll never pay another dime in taxes if you elect me. And he's like, that sounds good to me. I don't understand. I don't know. Based. And also, why the fuck are people going to Asmongold for political information? It's just such a weird world we live in. Like, people went from, they're like the mainstream media. We don't like the mainstream media. Mainstream media lies to us and plays with our emotions. And I was like, yeah, you guys, that's a good point. Good job, guys. High five for waking up. All right. So what are you guys going to do? And people were like, I'm going to go to X and I'm going to follow Benny Johnson and Tim Pool. And I'm like, whoa, no. Wait, what? Didn't those guys work for that company that got paid by the Russians? Did they allegedly have some connections with the tenant media company that was being paid by Russia today? And it's like, yeah, but they tell the truth. They don't manipulate us, bro. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck? I was with you guys. I was like, yeah, let's get away from mainstream media. Mainstream media is just as a soap opera. No one's telling the truth. Let's do some fucking work. Let's start reading legislation. Let's get into policies. Let's start holding these politicians accountable. And they're like, whew. I think I'm just going to go for Charlie Kirk tweets. Like, God damn it, man. God damn it. Anyways, yeah, I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place tonight. But it's weird because now people are going to people like Asmongold, to fucking Andy Pants, to tell you about politics? What the fuck does Asmongold know about politics? What does gamer boy Andy Pants, probably the least masculine person you'll ever know in your life, know about masculinity? If you dropped Andy Pants in the neighborhood I grew up in, dude, they would take his anal virginity in about 13 and a half seconds. Andy Pants would be somebody's bitch. That's called a mark where I come from. If you don't know what mark means, it means you a target. It means you give your lunch money to them. It means even if you white, them skinheads press you against the wall and do bad things to your beehole. That's what it means. Andy Pants would have been that dude. That's all I'm saying. Exactly what Mike. Tariffs raise prices. People just aren't smart. What's happening, Jeannie? Good to see you, Jeannie. All right, let's watch BTC now because I've been ranting for like an hour already.
Move. In a completely surprise move, it looks like Donald Trump continues to shed support from even those whose support should be obvious. Fox host Heraldo Rivera tweeted a post today on Twitter writing, "With 3 weeks to go until Election Day, Donald J. Trump stands a reasonable chance of becoming the 47th president of the United States, despite assassination attempts, impeachments, special counsels, felony convictions, and hundreds of millions in civil penalties. Most polls show this race against VP Kamala Harris too close to call. The first time he ran for president in 2016, he was coming off the last season of Celebrity Apprentice. I had a front row seat as a finalist on that final season and marveled at his audacity with his checkered past to seek the highest office in the land. Then, in the blink of an eye, he went from novice to formidable challenger to victorious over Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. As president, he was a loyal friend who allowed regular access. My resulting coverage gave him the benefit of most doubts. His presidency was underrated. Throughout his first big scandal still in office, the 2017 to 2019 Mueller investigation into allegations Trump conspired with Russia to undermine our political process, I stuck with him, deeply suspicious of constant efforts to undermine his administration. The last time President Trump and I spoke was Friday, November 13th, 2020, when he called me at home. It was 10 days after his narrow loss to Joe Biden. He was calling to get my take on the controversy surrounding the election, which appeared to have been decided by a handful of votes in several states. I asked him what he would do if the vote count remained against him. As I reported on Fox News that same morning, Friday the 13th, he told me he was a reasonable man and would do the right thing if that time came. It never did. Instead, President Trump embarked on an increasingly menacing campaign to discredit the 2020 election. With a motley supporting cast of increasingly fringe characters, he careened from one bizarre theory to the next, offering no meaningful proof that he had been robbed by the Democrats. None exists. If you are a Republican, Donald Trump has made a liar of you. He has coaxed and intimidated tens of millions into pretending he was reelected in 2020 and that the election was stolen. In furtherance of the big lie, on January 6, 2021, Trump incited and unleashed the violent attack at the center of democracy, the U.S. Capitol, for which he was impeached. As his followers trashed that sacred place, he was on the phone urging Vice President Mike Pence essentially to overturn the will of the American people. Pence refused to put Trump ahead of the Constitution. Trump stabbed the Constitution in the back. Maybe you are inclined to vote for the former president anyway because he says he will cut your taxes or build the border wall or pull out of NATO or put tariffs on China. However you justify voting for Trump, adopting his big lie about the stolen election makes you a liar. Better to admit he lost last time, but that you don't care because a Harris presidency would be a disaster, or you admire his defiance in the face of an assassin's bullet. Just don't pretend that he got robbed in 2020. That is a lie. Former President Trump is a sore loser who cannot be trusted to honor the Constitution. That is why I am voting for Kamala Harris to be our 47th president.
Damn.
Now, here's why this is
Heraldo.
especially important. Because this isn't some MSNBC host coming out in favor of Kamala.
What up,
It is a
Reverend?
lifelong Fox host, an admitted friend to Donald Trump. This is what it looks like when Trump failed to shore up the support of those closest to him. And I get that Heraldo himself doesn't command some huge following, but it's not about that. It's about poking a hole in this myth that Donald Trump commands full, undying support and that it's sacrilegious for anyone on or near the right to support Kamala Harris. This isn't about Heraldo, it is about the dam beginning to break. And it's gonna get worse, considering here's the news we just got today. Kamala will be doing an interview on Fox News Sunday with Bret Baier, meaning even more people.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about Kamala going on Fox News? Because my take on it is I'm guessing that Kamala's going on Fox News because she's trying to get those conservatives, right? She's trying to pull the Nikki Haley voters, the ones that said they were never Trumpers, but then they're like Biden or Trump, and they're like, well, fuck, I mean, I guess Trump, because they're morons. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a good move or a bad move? Because there is something to be said. Because the left is rather sensitive. Very touchy people. We end up with this whole, like, we don't like that she's going on there and she's saying things nice about conservatives, and if she says anything nice about conservatives, then I won't vote for her. And it's like, oh, okay. That's not the smartest move, but sure. Yeah, you do you, boo. What do you guys think? You think that the left's going to get upset? You think that the left recognizes that this is probably like a smooth move on her part to try and pull Republican voters? Because if you know anything about 2020, you know the exit polls from voters show that the reason that Trump lost in 2020 wasn't so much that Biden got out the vote. Now, you know, he did have, you know, historical numbers of voters because people were like, Jesus Christ, we can't have Donald Trump in there during this time when there's a global pandemic going on. Like, sure, you know, he got some people out to vote, but it seems as though in the swing states, because this is what actually makes a difference, like 100 million people can jump out. I know there's not 100 million people, but I'm exaggerating. 100 million people can come out in California and vote, and that doesn't make a difference because you only get so many electoral votes. What really matters is these Republicans that are in these swing states that are more activated than the Democrats in those same states that choose not to vote for Trump, because that's really what's going to decide this election. It's going to be the people in Michigan that are butthurt about what Biden is doing as far as Israel and Gaza. That's right. I said it. I'm hurting your feelings right now. You butthurt. And you're about to vote a dude into office that's going to be a whole lot worse than Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, all because you're mad. All right? So just get over that shit, first of all. But the swing states are going to decide. So Michigan's going to decide it. Arizona's going to decide it. Georgia's going to decide it. North Carolina wasn't really a swing state. Seems like it's going to decide it. Pennsylvania, fucking fly, Eagles, fly, okay? Get out there and vote, Democrats. They're going to decide it. Do you think that it's smart for her to get on here and give an interview and kind of show all the bullshit of what Donald Trump and his supporters believe? Oh, she babbles. She doesn't know how to talk. A bunch of fucking people with 5th grade educations talking about the fact that Kamala Harris can't talk. The dumbest fucking human beings on earth are like, oh, dude, she doesn't speak well. Yeah, you're the most loquacious, eloquent person I've ever met in my goddamn life. Jesus Christ. You're smarter than a prosecutor. You speak better than a prosecutor. Fucking McMumbles, okay? Shut up. Jesus Christ. Yeah, she's smarter than people on Fox News? Yeah, we know that. That's right, Jeremy. Fly, Eagles, fly. We barely beat the Browns. It was close.
People on the right, or who watch Fox News, will have the chance to have this impermeable right-wing bubble pierced. And once they get to hear from her directly and learn that it's her who's looking out for the middle and working class, it's her who's going to help small businesses, it's her who's going to get first-time homebuyers help, it's her who's going to protect reproductive rights, it's her who's going to protect the climate, it's her who's going to continue our record-breaking economy, it's certain that she'll peel off a few voters out there who otherwise are completely shielded from anything that isn't right-wing propaganda. Or, at a bare minimum, she'll offer a nice little contrast to Donald Trump, who is physically incapable of answering a single question without going off on some bizarre, unhinged tangent about God knows what. Case in point, here's his answer to a question about childcare. Keep that in mind when you're watching this. The question was about childcare.
If you win in November, can you commit to prioritizing legislation to make childcare affordable? And if so, what specific piece of legislation will you advance?
Well, I would do.
Bro, he looks like he's concentrating so hard, but I bet you there's the hamster in the wheel, like it's sleeping. Okay, that wheel ain't turning inside that head, dude. There is no electricity. It is dark inside that dome. Okay, that's about as dark as houses in Florida right now. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Hurricane fucking not intelligent ran through Donald Trump's head and left him with no electricity. That brain is shut off. He's just staring at those people and thinking about Big Macs right now. Just like what Tired said. He's just thinking about a Big Mac. He's like, ketchup and steak. Ketchup and steak.
Will you advance?
Well, I would do that. And we're sitting down. You know, I was somebody, we had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that, because child care is child care. There's something, you have to have it. In this country, you have to have it. But when...
Bro, that's some Plutarch level shit right there, dude. Oh, fucking... Jesus Christ, I've never heard something so amazing. Hold on, let's hear that one more time. We got to let him drop that knowledge on us one more time, guys. Let's get that knowledge dropped on us one more time. That was amazing.
Impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that, because look, child care is child care. There's something, you have to have it in this country.
Child care is child care. You have to have it. Oh my God. And these are the people that are like, Kamala dodges interviews. She sounds drunk. And they're like, this guy's a genius. Child care is child care. Someone get that shit printed on a t-shirt. Child care is child care. You got to have it. Holy fuck. What's happening, Renee? Steaks with ketchup or steaks with ketchup? You gotta have it. He sounds like a fucking commercial. Oh my God. I'm sorry, but you guys that support Donald Trump, I'm gonna laugh at you guys. I gotta laugh at you guys, because this shit's like, how the hell do you think this man is smart? Bro, I've seen toasters that are smarter than this motherfucker.
About the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that because look, childcare is childcare. It couldn't, there's something, you have to have it. In this country, you have to have it. But when you talk about those numbers compared to the kind of numbers that I'm talking about by taxing foreign nations at levels that they're not used to, but they'll get used to it very quickly. And it's not going to stop them from doing business with us, but they'll have a very substantial tax when they send product into our country. Those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about.
Dude, if you ever want to know why he doesn't understand tariffs, because unfortunately I've watched so many goddamn Trump interviews that I now know what he's talking about. He's supposed to be talking about childcare, but he's talking about tariffs instead. And they just talked about the Chinese paying for the tariffs. This is how dumb this person is that you want to vote for, Trump supporters. You want to vote for a dude that doesn't even know what a tariff is. He's literally sitting here saying that the Chinese are going to pay tariffs, and somehow those tariffs are going to pay for your child care, which he doesn't support any type of government program providing child care. So I'm not even sure how the fuck you're going to actually get the money for that child care, because you're going to be paying more money for the product that you buy currently from fucking Walmart, you fucking inbred idiots. Oh my God. He's talking about tariffs. This is amazing. I'm just waiting for him to talk about immigrants. Just wait until he throws immigrants up in this bitch. It's going to be great. And just go ahead, Donald. Drop a, they're eating the pets. They're eating the pets.
With us, but they'll have a very substantial tax when they send product into our country. Those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about, including childcare, that it's going to take care. We're going to have, I look forward to having no deficits within a fairly short period of time, coupled with the reduction.
Bro, what do you mean no deficits? This man added $8 trillion to the deficit. And before people were like, but COVID. First of all, you motherfuckers don't even believe COVID was real. So let's start there. Let's start with the fact that a bunch of you Trump supporters don't even believe COVID was real. And then when I bring up the fact that his budget was $8 trillion, you're like, yeah, but like a lot of it was COVID. If it wasn't real, then why the fuck did he put up $4 trillion into COVID? Like nothing you guys believe ever makes any goddamn sense. But forgetting the COVID, $4.5 trillion was pre-COVID. $4.5 trillion. This dude's how is he going to balance the deficit? How is he going to get rid of our $36 trillion deficit? Which, by the way, for all you dipshits out there that think China owns like a gigantic portion of our deficit, China owns about $880 billion of our deficit. That's fucking pennies when you're talking about $36 trillion. Private companies in America, Americans, owe that money. We don't owe it to China. We don't owe it to Russia. We don't owe it to the Haitian immigrants that are eating our pets. We owe it to America. Jesus fucking Christ, why are people so dumb?
Actions that I told you about on waste and fraud and all of the other things that are going on in our country, because I have to stay with childcare. I want to stay with childcare, but those numbers are small relative to the kind of economic numbers that I'm talking about, including growth, but growth also headed up by what the plan is that I just told you about. We're going to be taking in trillions of dollars, and as much as child care is talked about.
In Donald Trump's 4 years in office, and once again, before people are like, COVID was like the last year, maybe. I'll give him the grace of saying the last year is more like the last half year. But during his time, in which he put $8 trillion on America's tab, on American taxpayers' tab, he brought in $558 billion. So everybody keeps going. well, the reason that I'm voting for Trump is because, bro, I looked at like his 4 years, and I can tell you that his 4 years, they were good years. Yeah, because of Obama's economy. Because Obama pulled America out of the Great Recession. Because Obama pulled America out of the housing crisis. Donald Trump literally played golf while Obama's economy ran hot. But forget all that. Forget all of that. Donald Trump, after giving tax breaks to his wealthy corporate oligarch buddies, brought in a whopping $500 billion. Joe Biden, who everybody cries about, who everybody talks about how bad his economy is, how things are terrible right now, through the Infrastructure Act and Inflation Reduction Act, has brought in over $1.6 trillion. You know who brings in trillions of dollars to the economy? Donald Trump. Joe Biden did. Donald Trump didn't even get $1 trillion. Not even. He barely got to $500 billion. But you know who made a lot of money while Donald Trump was in office? Rupert Murdoch. Because Rupert Murdoch got to merge. Something that Donald Trump stopped CNN from doing. Because if you ain't his buddy, you don't get to do the things. You don't get to pick the pocket. You don't get to steal from the American people if you're his enemy. But if you're his friend, oh, you can sit there and fuck him right in front of him. Donald Trump. Please.
This being expensive, it's relatively speaking not very expensive compared to the kind of numbers we'll be taking in. We're going to make this into an incredible country that can afford to take care of its people, and then we'll worry about the rest of the world. Let's help other people. But we're going to take care of our country first.
You better watch
this is
saying
about
that.
America first. It's about make America great again. We have to do it.
So yeah, maybe Kamala going on Fox News isn't going to be so scary when you consider the word salads that they've been force-fed over the last few years. I think if Kamala can manage subject, verb, predicate, she'll probably exceed whatever basement-level bar Trump has established among the viewers there. But going back to Heraldo, another virtue is that this voice is added to the chorus of other Republicans who have recently endorsed Kamala. Again, it's not about Heraldo himself, it is about him among so many others like him who are giving a permission structure to other disaffected Republicans, other common sense Republicans, other pro-democracy Republicans, to know that it is okay to pull the lever for Democrats. That, as Jeff Duncan said at the DNC, it doesn't make you a Democrat, it makes you a patriot.
Let me be clear to my Republican friends at home watching. If you vote for Kamala Harris in 2024, you're not a Democrat, you're a patriot.
And let's be clear, the number of Republicans abandoning the sinking ship that is Trump is continuing to get bigger and bigger as we approach Election Day. While there are now too many to list, here are just some of the key Republicans endorsing Harris over Trump. Dick and Liz Cheney.
Former Republican Vice President Dick Cheney will be voting for Kamala Harris in November. That according to his daughter Liz, a former Republican congresswoman who has endorsed Vice President Harris herself.
I'm honored to have their endorsement, and I think that it's okay and, if not important, to put country above party.
John McCain's son, Jimmy McCain.
Yeah, and I'm going to just say something about the left for a second, because I saw a bunch of people on the left come out and they're like, oh, screw her for accepting Cheney's, because Cheney's a piece of garbage. And look, do I think Cheney's a good human being? Nope. Do I think that Cheney shares my values when it comes to women's rights and stuff like that? Most likely not. I don't know I don't know where he stands on abortion, but I doubt he does because he's conservative. But at the end of the day, when you look at somebody like Kamala Harris pulling in the respect of her peers across the aisle and accepting that, she didn't come out and say oh, now we're going to do nothing but conservative shit. She's literally still running on the Democratic ticket, and she got what is considered one of the most hardcore Republicans to come out and say that he would endorse her. That is a feat. That is a feat to get that to happen. That doesn't mean that Kamala Harris now is going to be anti-pro-choice. It doesn't mean that she's going to be all of a sudden some type of conservative tax hound. No. She literally is a better choice than Donald Trump. And Dick Cheney was like, you know what? I don't want to see the country burn because I'd like my grandchildren to be able to grow up in a nice country. I can actually respect him for that. And also, I don't want him to shoot me in the face or the neck. Never go duck hunting. Do you think Dick Cheney? Do you think who was it he shot in the neck? I forgot who he shot. But do you think he said duck or somebody said duck and Dick Cheney just pulled the trigger? A lot of questions to be asked about that scenario.
Kane, I feel that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz embody a group of people that will help make this country better, that will take us forward. And that's really what matters at the end of the day, is, voting with your heart.
Adam Kinzinger. And I want to let my
values.
fellow Republicans in on the secret. The Democrats are as patriotic as us.
Jeff Duncan.
I'm willing to eat a little bit of humble pie here to do the right thing. And the right thing is to beat Donald Trump.
Stephanie Grisham.
I love my country more than my party.
Over 200 Republicans.
Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying. Do I hold specific values with these people, that are in line? No, I don't. And the only value that we hold that is the same is our love for America and its people. That's the only thing. And that's okay. It's like being competitors on a football field. At the end of the day, I want my team to win. But that doesn't mean that I look across there and go, I hope you guys, have a bus ride accident on the way home and you all get disabled. Like, no. As long as you wish well for me. And that's the biggest difference between what MAGA has turned conservatives into and what traditional conservatives that are now willing to vote for Kamala Harris are. And that is, they realize we should be talking about pro-life versus pro-choice. We should be talking about big government versus small government. We should be talking about immigration and whether or not we need to fix the border with a wall or the border with putting more judges in there and more border patrol agents on there and creating a more efficient ability to come across the border and become an American citizen and contribute to America. They realize we should be talking about those things, and MAGA doesn't know how to talk. That's the difference. And that's why when Adam Kinzinger comes out and says, I'm voting for Kamala, when Dick Cheney comes out and says, I'm voting for Kamala, when Jeff Duncan comes out and says, I'm voting for Kamala, I don't get mad at Kamala. And the left needs to stop that shit. They need to stop eating their own. Jesus Christ. The left would win every election if the left stopped eating its own. Every single election the left will win if they stopped eating their own. He shot Harry Whittington. I don't know who that is, but sorry, Harry, for your life.
Republicans in climbing who've worked on the Bush, Romney, or McCain staff. Over 100 Republican former national security and foreign policy officials. And the list goes on and on and on. And again, for those people who say, who cares what Liz Cheney or Adam Kinzinger think? They've got no constituency, that's why they're not in office anymore. Again, it is not about them individually, it's about them collectively. Each additional name is one more straw to add to the pile. And for some people out there, that'll be enough. It doesn't need to be millions of people, but remember, the margins in these elections aren't millions anyway. They're just a few thousand. It's a game of inches here, and endorsements like these give us the inches that we need.
I feel you, devious.
Before you go, just a quick note, if you'd like...
Don't forget to like and subscribe to Brian Tyler Cohen's channel. We'll put Brian Tyler Cohen's channel in there. All of you guys are liked and subscribed to the man with the best suits in the business, okay? Brian Tyler Cohen and his sharp-ass suits. Here we go. What up, DJ? What's going on? Reverend says, I love my guns like a Republican. I just don't think they make me the mean bastard you see before you. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? That's like, those things could be talked about. Like, when we talk about gun control, I've said it before, like, probably something that makes me less progressive than, like, my friends like Mike Figueredo or a Kyle Kalinske or even a Noah Sampson, is that I look at things from a really, like, logical point of view, and that is there's over 400 million guns in America. I want to know whether or not something is plausible or not before I'm willing to put, like, you know, the full strength of what I think behind it. And I know that you just can't take every gun. It's just not plausible. So instead of beating your head against a brick wall of confiscate the guns, instead what you go to is we need to have red flag laws. We have to have universal background checks. We have to have them in every single state. It has to be a federal law, not states' rights. It comes down to the fact that everybody is affected by this, especially when people are bringing these guns across state lines, like that guy just did, bringing a loaded shotgun, loaded handgun, and a high-capacity magazine into California because he was like, I'm Trump's friend. I should be able to do that. But you're not going to respect our laws. So you say states' rights, but then you're going to drive across our borders with guns from your states. Like, it ain't states' rights. It should be a federal thing. So, but, like, there's a lot of progressives that would disagree with me. They'd be like, no, you should just confiscate all the guns. I don't believe that's even plausible. I think that you're just setting yourself up for disappointment when you make those kind of arguments. I think when it comes to things like what's happening in schools, it's time to ban ARs again, just like we did in 96. What was it, 96 to 2004? I think they were banned. Or maybe 2008. Might have been later than that. But it's time to ban ARs again. You don't need an AR. It's time to introduce red flag laws. It's time to create federal regulations that say that people that are being investigated for domestic violence don't get to have guns because 1 to 2 women per day are dying from gun violence in domestic issues in America. That's fucking insane. That's insane. We have more mass shootings than any country ever. It's our world record. We're in the fucking Guinness Book of World Records for being the biggest dipshits because we don't want to stop people from getting, or we want to stop people from getting background checks and red flag laws. And we don't want to hold adults accountable for buying guns for their children or giving access to children for their guns that they take to school. That's where we should be talking. That's where we should be talking. I know you're in BTC comments. Of course, Woke Mike. Yeah, high-capacity mags. You don't need a high-capacity mag to fucking hunt, dude. End of the day, I am all for your right to own a gun to protect yourself. But I am not for your right to leave your guns unattended where your child can get a hold of one of them, where they can take it to the school where my child or somebody else's child is and take their lives. That's ridiculous. And if you in any way defend that, if you're like, I should be able to, because what my kid needs to get to the gun or somebody breaks in the house, you're a moron. You're a moron. Trump throws childish tantrum in hostile interview. What up, Bucket? What's going on, Bucket? Yeah. All I'm saying is logic, man. Logic. You've missed about an hour and 15 minutes of me ranting. That's what you missed. Don't forget to like the stream, guys. Don't forget to like the stream. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I appreciate you guys. If you guys want to support me, you can support me with Super Chats. You can also support me by joining the Angry Ginger Army in the link below that says join below the video. It's only $3 a month or 10 cents a day. Yeah, you guys, whatever you want, but I appreciate you guys being here one way or the other. Thank you for being here. But do please like the stream. You didn't miss this. You didn't miss this, Bucket. You didn't miss this. Donald Trump throwing a tantrum. I'm going to watch an Adam Mockler video because I watched the Adam Mockler video last Saturday because we're on a streak.
Be broken up? Should Google be broken up?
I just haven't gotten over something the Justice Department did yesterday, where Virginia cleaned up its voter rolls and got rid of thousands and thousands of bad votes. And
wait. Why does Donald Trump have such a hard time with softball questions? Like, bro, he asked you if Google should be broken up. Your entire voter base hates Google. That's a underhand, slow pitch softball, and you got a nice metal bat. 32 inches of aluminum. You just smacked that one right over the wall, dude. Why does he have such a hard time with such softball questions? You know why? Because he has to give Joe, like they literally say that Joe Biden and Google are they're in bed together, and Joe Biden's administration, not Joe Biden, because this is the FCC. I always get the FTC and FCC mixed up. Sued them, found them liable, said that they're monopoly, claimed that their search engine stuff was bullshit, and now they're going to have to most likely do it Microsoft, or was it IBM that did that they had to break apart? I think it was Microsoft, right? That had to do that. How can you not just answer that question? That was so what a softball.
Something the Justice Department did yesterday, where Virginia cleaned up its voter rolls and got rid of thousands and thousands of bad votes, and the Justice Department sued them that they should be allowed to put those bad votes and illegal votes back in and let the people vote. So I haven't gotten over that. A lot of people have seen that. They can't even believe it.
The question.
What the hell? What is that?
Is about Google, President Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is getting absolutely cooked at the Economic Club of Chicago, and it's leading me to wonder who is allowing this. This is an unmitigated disaster for his campaign, and I'm almost impressed. I'm amazed at how each of his events get more unhinged day by day. Last night, we watched him freeze for 30 minutes while they played music, and tonight he is being pressed on his economic policies, and he doesn't know anything. This is not a serious political mind. Nobody should take this man seriously, and that is what we will demonstrate throughout this video. If you appreciate what I do, drop a like, make sure you're subscribed, and stick around to the end to help boost this.
Let's make sure that we put Adam's channel in the... I don't want to forget, because Adam's on his way to 1 million. Adam's going to be there. There you go. That's Adam Mockler's channel. Be sure to go to Adam Mockler's channel, like and subscribe. Do the man the favor. Adam Mockler is dope.
Pro-democracy message. Let's jump right in with this clip of Micklethwaite asking Trump about Putin, and listen to Trump's response. Pay close attention.
No, but these are big things. I have to mention them.
Yeah, you just mentioned Putin, though, and this has been this controversy of the past week. Can you say yes or no whether you have talked to Vladimir Putin since you stopped being president?
Well, I don't comment on that, but I will tell you.
No, he can't say yes or no. Because it's literally, he's broken the Logan Act so many times now. Like, this is insane that we live in a world where a man has 100% broken the Logan Act over and over and over again, and yet somehow he is allowed to run for president. Somehow he is allowed to campaign to the point that now he has 50% of the vote, or 50% chance to win the vote. It's insane. These laws were literally made so that way people like Donald Trump do not get to do the things they're doing, and Donald Trump just openly flaunts his ability to do so. He can't answer yes or no there because it literally puts him in legal jeopardy if he does. That should tell you something. If a person can't answer a question because they could get in trouble and perhaps go to prison over it, you don't want that person to be your president. I don't know why I have to explain this to people.
That if I did, it's a smart thing. If I'm friendly with people, if I have a relationship with people, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. In terms of a country, he's got 2,000 nuclear weapons, and so do we. China has a lot less, but they'll catch us within 5 years.
That sounds very much like
that.
Sounds very much like
I don't talk about
that.
I don't talk about that.
You talk about talking to Netanyahu. You talk
but
about
I can tell you what.
That sounds a lot like confirmation to me. He said, quote, if I did, it is a smart thing. Number one, that could be a violation of the Logan Act. Number two, Trump cites diplomacy for the reason that he's talking to our enemy while he's not the president of the United States. Diplomacy is making sure that our ally over in Ukraine, Zelensky, and the people of Ukraine have their land, that Russia removes their troops and does not try to grab land again. That is diplomacy. That is upholding the international rules that have existed since World War II, since the inception of NATO. Meanwhile,
which Trump doesn't like NATO. But here's the thing is, Donald Trump, the scarier thing about Donald Trump being in contact with Putin or Xi or Kim Jong-un or any of these people is the problem with Donald Trump and his self-interest. We all know that James Langford put forth a border bill that Biden asked for, that Biden said he would sign, that the Senate would have passed through, that was a conservative wet dream. Had everything they could possibly want in it. Everything. I mean, it's a bill that I myself am not for. There's certain things in the bill that I do approve of. The technology to do with fentanyl detection, putting more justices on the bench to be able to get the process done faster. Certain things in the bill I'm fine with, but the inhumane, like deportation of people, the breaking up of families, like the real strict things, I wasn't for. But if you're a conservative, you're 100% for that bill. And Donald Trump called them and said, don't pass it. Don't pass it. Because Donald Trump only cares about Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't care about fixing the border unless it's Donald Trump that does it. Donald Trump doesn't care about Ukrainian people unless Donald Trump's the president and he gets to be the person that saves them. Donald Trump doesn't care about having good relationships with Russia or China or North Korea. He only cares if he's the one that makes it happen. Donald Trump doesn't care if there's peace in the Middle East unless he's the one that makes it happen. And when you think about the fact that Donald Trump has been in contact with these foreign leaders that we are currently very adversarial with, quite adversarial with, you have to say to yourself, what exactly is Donald Trump telling those people? Is Donald Trump saying to them like, hey, let's keep it chill? You know, Biden's doing the best job he can, and for America, let's not do things that could escalate and create another world war. Or do you think Donald Trump is calling those people and going, don't worry, as soon as Joe Biden's out, I'll be the one, and I'll give you whatever you want. You do whatever you need to do to Joe Biden. You do whatever you need to do to Joe Biden. And when I get in office, we'll make some deals. I'm going to guess that's what he said.
While Donald Trump would rather cozy up to the enemy. That is not diplomacy. The way that he bullied Zelensky was not diplomacy, and the way that Donald Trump answers the question is very, very clear. He says, I can't say, but if I did, it was smart.
Stop being president.
Exactly. Well, I don't comment on that, but I will tell you that if I did, it's a smart thing.
He literally said, I don't comment on that. Then in the next sentence, he went back on that. This is an impulsive man,
he's a
and
liar.
I cannot believe that the race is tied. I want you to watch this clip of Donald Trump talking about Barack Hussein Obama at the Economic Club of Chicago. Yeah, try this in Chicago. Listen to the crowd groan.
You've gone off about that. Seeing you brought up tariffs and foreign policy, many people would say the biggest problem with your tariffs is actually geopolitics. You, in your first term, you got some credit for effectively saying that there was a Cold War against China. That's what America was in. If you look at the last Cold War against the Soviet Union, America won it in part because it rallied allies to it. You're talking about slamming allies with 30%, 20% tariffs.
Yeah, and just to be clear, that is true. The wars that we are currently in are Cold Wars because there's not going to be another boots-on-the-ground invasion of a big country like Russia, China, or America. It's all going to be war through infrastructure. It's all going to be war through trade. It's all going to be posturing. And unfortunately, for smaller countries that don't have the infrastructure that somebody like America, like the EU does, like Russia, like China does, that's where boots on the ground wars are going to happen. That's why it's in Ukraine. That's why Taiwan's at risk. That's why places, across the world that during the Cold War, the original Cold War, America had wars through proxy. And that's going to continue to happen. And guess what? If you tear off all the people on your side in a trade war that is global, a global trade war, and you're going to tear off your own team, I can't. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Imagine being on a team with other people and you're like, look, bro, it's all about me. It's all about me, dog. That's not how teams work. That's not how you beat other teams. It's Jesus Christ.
Isn't this time you're going to end up trying to rally the West and you're dividing it instead? Isn't that the real problem with tariffs? even beyond all the problems due to the economy, where you keep on bringing up these individual examples, but the overall effect is going to be dramatic.
No, the overall effect will
answer first about foreign policy.
Yeah, I'll do that.
How does it help you take on China, turning all your allies against you?
Tremendously, because China thinks we're a stupid country. A very stupid country. They can't believe that somebody finally got wise to them.
We elected Trump. That's
Not
why.
one president, Bush, Obama, Barack Hussein Obama, have you heard of him? Not one president, think of it, not one president charged China anything. They said, oh, they are a third world nation, they're a developing. Well, we're a developing nation too.
Wait, what? What? Look, I'm all for discussion over, some of the United States of America's trade deals. I'm totally for that. I think that America has made mistakes in trades. I think, a lot of times we've put ourselves forward with we're the big money country. So, hey, let's risk a little bit. Let's try and make some money, But I don't think anybody has ever looked over at China and its economy and being like, they're a third world country. First of all, that's not even what third world means. But forget that. Forget that. No one is looking at a third world country or China as being a third world country. No one. Obama didn't look at them like that. Like they are a superpower as far as their economical potential. Up until like 2 years ago, there was tons of forecasts that showed that China's economy would actually pass America's economy. But because of what happened with COVID, because of how badly they were impacted by their one-child policy and what happened with COVID and them having to shut down their economy because they fared worse than any other country, it's now looking like China will never, ever, ever catch America's economy. But that doesn't make them doesn't mean we've ever looked at them as being like a third world country for their economy. That's crazy.
Take a look at Detroit. Take a look at our cities. We're a developing nation. We have to develop more than they do. We're way behind.
How is the number one economy in the world, the number one GDP in the world, what definition of a developing nation would include the United States of America? Okay, here we go. I'll help him out. The very literal definition of every nation is that it is constantly developing. Now, I know Donald Trump ain't smart enough to bring that up, and we all know that's not what he's talking about. But if you're gonna be literal about it, sure, every nation is a developing nation. But there is, once again, no country in the world that looks at what America is doing and goes, oh, man, that's a real shithole. The only time they've ever looked at us and said that was when Donald Trump was the president. And they're like, ooh, we might have a chance. Oh, they put in their third-string quarterback. He gonna throw some interceptions.
You take a look at what's happened to our cities. So
there's so much to break down, I don't even know where to start here. First of all,
Adam.
Just look at his puffy eye bags, his inability to speak, and the way that he's using this repetition.
Yeah, some Bucket just said that, I want to say something about... Bucket says, seriously, you see how fast China builds a bridge? 2 days, it's crazy to call that a third world country. And if there's one place where America really has faltered, it's in infrastructure. When you look at Chinese infrastructure, when you look at the EU's infrastructure, their infrastructure, their transportation systems and stuff like that are so far ahead of ours because we're all so concerned about we have politicians. First of all, we do have politicians that have used our money inappropriately. I agree to that. More transparency is necessary, but we're so goddamn scared of paying taxes for certain things that we won't pay for our own interests. Public transportation is garbage in America. It's not third world country, it's not developing nation, but it is garbage. And when you look at the infrastructure of other countries that are supposedly third world, apparently that's what Donald Trump believes, their infrastructure is so much better than ours. And you know what Donald Trump did for 4 fucking years while he was in office? He talked about getting an infrastructure bill done the whole time. We're going to get, every 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, then we're going to get it done. We're going to get the infrastructure bill done in 2 weeks. And he couldn't get an infrastructure bill done because not even conservatives liked Donald Trump. No one liked Donald Trump. He couldn't get the deal done. But you know who did? Joe Biden. Joe Biden got a bipartisan infrastructure deal done that has brought debt back over $1 trillion, along with the Inflation Reduction Act, in funds back to America. Not only that, but it fixes bridges, it fixes roads, it builds buildings. Like, Jesus Christ. You think, like, Florida. They're literally chasing FEMA out of Florida. God, I'm sorry. I'm now rambling. And
Vacuous rhetoric. He said the same thing about 4 times. We are not a developing country. By definition, we are not a developing country. Also, the way that he emphasizes Obama's middle name, Hussein, that makes it very clear.
Oh, one more quick one, because Alice just said something. Remember, Donald Trump is a developer, and it's a big word that he knows. I just did an interview last night with Stephen Robinson, who wrote the book Turf Wars. And that is a book about the west side of Manhattan, where Donald Trump owned this big rail yard that he wanted to build a television city, which had these gigantic, ugly-ass buildings. It would have completely cut off the west side of Manhattan and created this, like, gentrified section where, like, the rest of the people in that section couldn't go. And he wrote a book about it. And I did an interview with him last night. And if you're interested in seeing Stephen Robinson, who is the author and also was an activist who was involved in stopping Donald Trump from doing that, and they successfully not only stopped Donald Trump, but the city of New York from colluding with Donald Trump. He wrote a book about his experience as being an activist, and we had a conversation about that last night, about 45 minutes-ish, that I will be releasing on Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific. So if you're interested in that story, check it out. Stephen Robinson, really cool dude, great conversation. I like the dude. He was a nice guy. And we might even have some of his friends on. So, yeah, it's coming up Friday at 5.
What he's trying to do. Obama's name is Barack Hussein Obama. That's normal. But when you say it like Barack Hussein Obama, have you ever heard of him? It's very clear what Donald Trump is trying to do here. Especially in Chicago. Really? In Chicago? And here's Trump being pressed to provide an example of how he'll cut government spending. Because if you remember, when Donald Trump got into office in 2017, he passed massive tax cuts on large corporations. So the government had less revenue coming in, but then he increased spending. So when you increase spending but you decrease taxes, you necessarily have to increase the deficit. So Donald Trump gets pressed on that, and he can't give a coherent answer or a satisfying answer at all.
Give me an example of something you will do that will get rid of government spending.
Well, let me give you an example. When I came into government, I was the first thing.
An example going forward.
Well,
not
no, but
what you did in the past.
this is going forward because it's the same thing. When I first sat down, a general came into my office and he said, "Sir, it's nice to meet you. Would you please sign this?" I said, "What is it?" "It's a contract for a new Air Force One," which is actually 2 planes, not one, 2 Boeing 747. And I said, "How much is it?" $5.7 billion. So it's a hell of an expensive plane, but there's reasons for that. And he said, "Nope, I'm not signing it." I said, "Who negotiated?" "Barack Hussein Obama." I said, "I'm not signing it." Why? Because there's a lot of fat. He said, "I'm not signing. It's got to have a 3 on it." Anyway.
We are $30-something trillion in debt, and Donald Trump is talking about Air Force One. He's talking about pennies.
Yeah.
That was an incoherent rant about Air Force One that has nothing to do with what he was asked, and he gets pressed further later on.
Well, and you know the funniest part about that is that that's something that you could be like, yeah, good job. Way to say no to that, right? You could actually give him credit for that if he was being honest. If he was being honest about his ability to cut the deficit, you could be like, good job. Way to not do that. That makes sense. That's great. But the problem is that he stopped a $5 billion, 2 planes that were $5 billion from being built, all while giving corporations, gigantic fucking corporations that are already incredibly wealthy, huge tax cuts, while continuing to spend at the same rate. By the way, the reason he couldn't get an infrastructure bill done, one of the reasons, other than the fact that he's incredibly divisive and Republicans hate him as well, is that he blew his entire load on those tax cuts. When he would go to people and say, hey, I want to do this new thing, they'd say, there's no money for it, sir. Sir, there's no money for it. That's what he would say. That they couldn't give him what he would ask for, and he didn't understand that because he's a spoiled-ass child that's never had anybody in his goddamn life say no to him. That is why he's a bad leader. That is why he's a bad president. Is because he doesn't understand the first goddamn thing about running something successfully. He knows how to run things into bankruptcy and use loopholes, not pay workers, and sue contractors. And the United States of America can't do that. We can't afford to do that. We can't treat our allies like that. But that's how Donald Trump runs shit. Donald Trump, good job. Good job, buddy. Hey, good job, buddy. You said no to the plane. Good job. But then you gave a fuck ton of money to your friends, the oligarchs. And guess what? We pay that money. It's the middle class that pays that money. All the middle class people out there that sit there and go, but he gave us tax cuts too. Who do you think pays for all the money that was lost during those tax cuts? When you don't stop spending and you give huge tax cuts to everybody, who do you think pays for that? The middle class does. 10 years later. 10 years later, you pay for it because the ultra wealthy know how to get away with never paying it back. So you pay it back. So in the end, even if you made $4,000, $5,000 more during Trump's administration as a middle class person, you will pay that back tenfold over the next 10 years, and you're too stupid to understand that.
Just wait. In this clip, the moderator asks, people are betting that your policies are going to drive up debt and inflation. And let's hear what Donald Trump has to say in response.
You mentioned Taiwan. You said you would defend them. You also seem to imply that on Putin, you would not. Putin, you seem to imply that you had talked to him without actually confirming it.
I said I don't comment on those things.
What about, can I ask you a particular thing about the dollar? You talked about wars. At the New York Economic Club, you said that if you lost the dollar as a reserve currency, it would be like America losing a war.
Yeah.
You look at what you're going to do in terms of protectionism, drive countries to use the other currencies, and all that debt is also going to lessen the dollar's status as the world's reserve currency.
If
Don't you worry about
the
that?
dollar is so secure,
Here's the thing is, he doesn't know that this guy, you're literally at the Economic Club of Chicago. Do you think they know anything about how the dollar is valued and what's important? Do you? Do you think so? And Donald Trump sits up there and bullshits it by saying, it'll be so secure. Don't worry about it. That's like saying, so my wife's going to this place where there's all these really hot, fucking ripped, amazingly good-looking, wealthy, successful dudes. And I'm worried about it. Don't worry, as long as I'm president, she won't have sex with any of those men. Well, why? Why would that stop it? It just does. Donald Trump being the president stops all bad things from happening. There was no terrorism going on in the entire world when Donald Trump was president. There was peace in the Middle East. There was no wars. Don't look at Syria. Don't worry about that Iranian general that I killed. Don't worry about that. No American soldiers are harmed. Don't pay attention to the 100 soldiers that were harmed. Like, I'm pretty sure my wife's about to leave. He's like, don't worry about it. Donald Trump's got you. Man, you better not be.
Reserve currency is the strongest it'll ever be. And
you said, President Trump, at the moment there is a thing called the Trump trade in the markets. Do you know what that is? The Trump trade is very simple. People are betting that your policies are going to drive up debt, they're going to drive up inflation, so they're going to drive up inflation rate.
Exactly. And as we'll learn as the video goes on, Trump doesn't even know the effects of his policies or what his policies cost. He doesn't know what a tariff is, so how will he know the downstream effects? But let's hear his answer.
Interest rates. Are the investors wrong?
Yeah, I had 4 years, no inflation. I had 4 years no inflation.
What?
That was
Dude, he's going to use COVID statistics. Like, my guy, we are literally coming out of the Great Recession. We are literally coming out of the housing collapse. Barack Hussein Obama brought us out of the Great Recession and provided Donald Trump with an economy that was insanely good. It was moving so far in an upward direction that to halt its ability to go up would have been a Herculean task. And if you're going to use the fact that during your 4 years in office that you did a good job babysitting an amazing economy, I'll give you that. If you're going to use the fact that inflation dropped from 2.8 to 1.4%, because during the pandemic, in the last year in office, no one left their homes, I'll give you that. But if you're going to claim that somehow you were the reason that inflation didn't increase, you're a moron. Because the very idea of the last thing that Donald Trump did while he was in office, adding $4 trillion of debt to America's debt, the stimulus that he passed was the very catalyst for why there was inflation. Jesus Christ, this guy is stupid. I just don't even think, I don't even think it's stupid. I think he's ignorant. I think he just doesn't know. I think he's a moron.
when you had much.
I had 4 years. It's better than that. And Biden, who has no idea where the hell he is, okay? Biden went 2 years with no inflation because he inherited from me. And then they started spending money like drunken sailors.
This dude's speaking like a child. Biden went 2 years without inflation.
Spent so much money. It was so ridiculous, the money they were spending. They were spending on the Green New Scam. The Green New Scam, the Green New Deal.
The Green New Deal
it was conceived of by AOC plus
little,
3.
if anything.
She never even studied the environment in college. She went to a nice college. She came out, she just said, the Green New Scam. She just named all these things.
But President Trump, the issue at the moment, the markets
what are
are
we
looking at
talking
the
about
fact
anymore?
you are making all these promises. Latest one was car loans. You're flooding the thing with giving giveaways.
But we're going to grow.
I was actually quite kind to you. I used 7 trillion. The upper estimate is 15 trillion. People like the Wall Street Journal, who's hardly a communist organization,
yeah, but you don't know.
They have criticized you on this as well. You are running up enormous debts.
What does the Wall Street Journal know? I'm meeting with them tomorrow. What does the Wall Street Journal know? They've been wrong about everything. So have you, by the way. You've been...
And that is why Donald Trump became the president in 2016. Because of what those people just did. They laughed because they were like, oh, like, what did he say that was really all that funny? Nothing. It was just awkward and absurd. He said, they've been wrong about everything. Does he have any proof of that? Oh, of course he doesn't. Can he show it to you right now? Of course he won't. They're like, wow, it's funny that he said that to that guy's face. That's what they think is funny. That's how basic people are. Is they're like, wow, that's hilarious. He just told him that he wasn't right to his face. Owned. And that's how Donald Trump got elected the first time, was because people were like, wow, he just called that person stupid. That's funny.
You're trying to turn this. You've
been wrong about
you're trying to turn this into debate. There are business people.
But you're wrong. You've been wrong. You've been wrong all your life on this stuff. You've been wrong. Let me tell you about currency. You're going jumping a lot of different subjects.
The
reserve currency. Let's stick to reserve currency. That's where you start.
Yeah.
Right?
Donald Trump accuses the interviewer of jumping around. I like how the interviewer sarcastically says, yeah, well, you're sticking to the subject very closely. But there are moments here where Donald Trump is crossing his arms like a petulant child, trying to debate.
And he knows, as soon as he hears those people laugh, he knows he has them. That's what drives me nuts, is I will continue to say this. It's not a government problem. It's a people problem. You elect these people. You say things like, my vote doesn't matter. Bullshit. Look at Georgia. Ask yourself why Marjorie Taylor Greene is in office. Look at Colorado and look at Lauren Boebert in that district. You elect these people, and then we complain that it's the government. It's not us. But who's in the crowd laughing? Who thought it was funny? Myself included in 2016 when Ted Cruz was on stage with Donald Trump and Donald Trump said, your wife's ugly. She's ugly. It's a people problem. It ain't a government problem. It's that we need to be better. We need to vote for the right people. We need to look at policy and legislation and hold politicians accountable. We need to stop falling for charisma and a funny joke from a bully. Because if you really want to change shit, we have to do this. Because, they aren't going to.
The interviewer right here, he's crossing his arms, trying to turn this into some weird fest. He looks like a little kid on a playground who's mad because he lost in some sort of fight. But I do want to say again, Donald Trump's plan of eliminating billions in taxes and revenue coming into the government while not proposing any cuts, no offsetting cuts, could increase our deficit by $6 trillion. Some say $10 trillion. The Wall Street Journal says upwards of $15 trillion, which he did during his first term. Increase it by $8 trillion to Biden's $4 trillion. Donald Trump has terrible policies, and then he tries to turn it into some sort of weird debate. Also, his commentary about taxes and starting a trade war with other countries is laughable because he doesn't want to accept any of the risks at play when you start these trade wars, as he didn't the first time. It honestly feels like he is about a few minutes away from being pulled off the stage. We know that he's been pulled off the stage multiple times over the past week, whether it was last night when he stood there for 30 minutes and then left before answering any more questions, or when he was on a podcast. If you check out my most recent video, he had to get pulled off a podcast. Here's Donald Trump being pressed even further. I really do admire this British reporter. The way this guy is dealing with Trump is perfect.
Should Google be broken up?
I just haven't gotten over something the Justice Department did yesterday, where Virginia cleaned up its voter rolls and got rid of thousands and thousands of bad votes, and the Justice Department sued them that they should be allowed to put those bad votes and illegal votes back in and let the people vote.
Is this a joke? He literally did not answer he didn't even attempt to answer the question. He went on to an infantile rant. He sounds like a third grader. He sounds like a child.
So I haven't gotten over that. A lot of people have seen that. They can't even believe it.
The question is about Google.
How is it possible to sound like a demented old person, but at the same time have the vocabulary of a child? And I like how the reporter brings it back at the end. Listen.
The question is about Google, President Trump.
The question is about Google, man. What are you yapping about? Here is Micklethwaite saying, there seems to be a real fear about you and Elon Musk.
Google,
and before I play this
motherfucker,
clip,
did
I just
you
want to say,
miss
I've been
it?
telling my friends a lot, I'm not even as scared of a second Trump term. I mean, Trump is terrifying. I am more scared of the idea of people like Elon Musk or J.D. Vance or Vivek Ramaswamy being close to power. Of course, Trump is terrifying, but he's also incompetent and stupid. But Elon Musk having a position of power within our government as the richest person in the world, that's terrifying.
I ask you.
Yeah, how crazy is that? Having a position in our government as the richest person in the world. That is not a good thing. You do, like, we ran from the crown. We fought against the crown. We rebelled against the crown. We rioted against the crown, and we killed their soldiers. So that way we didn't have to do what they said. And now we're going to have the richest dude in the world in a position of power? That sounds a lot like a goddamn king to me. We ain't going back. Oh, thank you, fan. Have we covered the Dems control the weather and psychotic MAGA threatening the FEMA workers because they think FEMA is to blame for the weather? I, for like half a second, started talking about the FEMA thing and then realized I was going to start ranting about that. That's what I'm saying. These people are ass backwards, fan. They have no goddamn idea how anything works. They literally complain that they can't get any help. They claim that Democrats are controlling the weather. But then they also talk about the fact that man-made climate change is not real. So it's the Democrats can control the weather, but also human beings can't control the weather, which I guess you could probably, if you're a Republican, you could probably actually, you could make that work. Because you could be like, they're demons. They're eating the pets. They're drinking the blood. And they're controlling the weather. I should get that on a shirt somewhere, right? We should get a shirt that says, eating the pets, drinking the blood, controlling the weather. Yeehaw. And then they're like, fuck the government. And then the government's like, yo, we're here to help you. And they're like, we'll shoot you. They're like, look, the government didn't do anything to help us. It's like, you tried to shoot them. There was literally like 2 trucks of people that were, where was it, North Carolina? I think it was in North Carolina. Police officers found 2 trucks of people from a militia that were armed, that when asked, they told the person, we're out hunting FEMA workers. You can't make this shit up. These people are dumb. This is why we're building the wall. Across California. Australia, California is at the table. EU, California is at the table. As a current Californian, I would like to be a representative for the state to let all of you guys know, over on the other side of the world, we are open to all trade negotiations. Feel free to bring all of your stuff to our ports. Don't worry. No one else gets it. It's going to California. And also, we're going to be kicking out Rob Schneider, Kevin Sorbo, Roseanne Barr. I think all those people don't live in California anyways. Reverend! Vote, then be ready to fight for your win. You better be fucking ready, too. These people, some of these dipshits are going to do some dumb shit. All right, let's I'm going to leave the rest of Adam's Mockler for y'all to go check out. So if you guys want to go watch the rest of this video, I'm going to let you guys go and do that because I love me, Adam Mockler. Don't forget, I got an interview with Adam Mockler I'm going to be talking about for the rest of my life. It's going to be the time that I scored 10 touchdowns in high school, just so you guys know. Me interviewing Adam Mockler is going to forever be the I scored 10 touchdowns in high school speech. So you guys better be ready for that, okay? Deal with it. Let's watch this one because this one looked funny. Kyle Kalinske. Homo lesbian spirits. MAGA pastor delivers insane prayer. And it looks like that's Kenneth Copeland, guys. It's been a long time since we've watched a Kenneth Copeland video. Since they're demons in tubes, right? And I don't know if you guys remember that, if you guys were around then too. But do you guys remember there was a person in chat that went to Kenneth Copeland's church? Do you guys remember that? They're like, he's not really that crazy. And I was like, that right there, that's exactly what I think about cult members and Trump supporters. I guess I should just say cult members because that includes Trump supporters. Is that like you watch a video where the dude says some of the most insane shit you have ever heard in your life. He's like grinning at the lady and he's like, they're demons. They're demons. And that person, I say, well, it looks like he's saying some pretty crazy shit. And they're like, he's like a really nice person. Okay. Okay. Whatever you say. All right, here we go. This should be good.
Is to one of my favorite things to do is to see what's going on in the televangelist world, in the evangelical fundamentalist Christian world, because guys, I don't think you fully understand how different that part of the country is. That segment of the population is.
Right?
They are just on fucking Neptune. They are not connected to reality in any way, shape, or form. They believe preposterous things, and you're going to get a great example of it right here. So we talked about that guy Lance Wallnau, who J.D. Vance did an event with this guy, and this guy every other week is in the news. Right Wing Watch catches him, basically saying like Kamala has the demonic spirit of Jezebel that's running through her, and she represents a demon, and Trump represents the angels. And again, these people literally mean it. I need you to understand that. This isn't like metaphorical. This is like they think it's good versus evil. They think it's black and white, no pun intended, and they think demonic spirits are running through Kamala Harris. Okay. Well, here we have Kenneth Copeland. Now, some of you guys might know this guy. He's the one who said, all my followers need to give me more money because I don't want to be on a commercial air flight in a tube full of demons.
Yep.
In other words, the general population, they're demons. I want to be away from them. They're icky. And I think he wanted a second private jet. He wanted his people to fund that. Okay. So here he is. He's delivering a prayer. This is about the 2024 election. Listen to what he says.
In school board elections, judges, sheriffs, mayors, city managers, college presidents, those that refuse to hold to your will and do it, remove them and put someone in there that will. We pray that your will be done.
Dude, looking at the crowd is always my favorite. Like, look at like Trump's rally crowds. That's fun. That's fun. That's some people of Walmart type shit, right? Like, I would compare, like, looking at Trump's rally crowds is like being at the county fair and just watching the hits, walking around and doing their things, their ass crack out, having a good time. It's fun times to watch that. But when you look at like a tele-evangelical crowd, like that, those are some fucking crazy people. Those are, remember when there used to be Amway? Was it Amway? Where you go to people's houses and they'd sell you stuff, like a pyramid scheme, like Avon or something like that. But Amway's like creepier, right? Avon's more like mom style. Amway, like, that's the type of shit where these kind of people, you sit down with them and they start trying to sell you Tupperware and they like reach across and touch your hand while they're talking to you. That's what I think about when I see these people. It's like they, at one point or another, they're going to talk to you about the power of Christ, okay? And they're going to want you to come to there, and if you don't get to leave the house. Once you're in, you're in. Like the husband gets up and walks over the door and stands next to it, and you're like, what the fuck?
On this earth as it is in heaven. Yes. And we know it is not your will that little babies be killed in the womb. It is not your will to make your own perversion instead of the peace of God. And we pray for the people. The devils are fighting and trying to ruin their lives with perverted ideas and perverted ways. The people that are
hold on, it sounded like, I don't know if you guys heard that, but it sounded like somebody said, what? Hold on, we're gonna go back. I gotta hear that one more time. Let's turn it up. It sounded like somebody was like, word?
And we pray for the people. The devils are fighting and trying to ruin their lives with perverted ideas and perverted ways. The people that...
it's how he said, boo. That's weird, too. Oh, that's just as weird, dude. Oh, this is some weird shit. I need to go to one of these. Like, I might not get out because they're going to notice that I'm the one dude in the crowd that just keeps cracking up the whole goddamn time. So I might get abducted, but I need to go to one of these. All right, guys. Look, I don't beg for money very often, okay? Only at the end of every show. But yeah, we got to get like a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe going so that way I can like travel to like one of these Kenneth Copeland shows or something like that. Now, are you guys going to potentially be, accomplices in my abduction? Probably. You're going to fund it. You're probably going to fund my abduction. But it's going to be worth it, guys. I will fucking wear a GoPro. I will talk to people. It will quite possibly, look, it's going to end. There's not going to be any coming back. It's like it's like being a kamikaze, okay? You know you're doing it for the country, all right? You know you ain't coming back, but you're willing, all right? I'm willing to do this for the channel. My wife's going to have to take over the channel. Maybe one of my kids takes over the channel. But we get a GoFundMe together. I will go to one of these places with a GoPro on. No half yacht. No, fuck the half yacht, okay? Yeah, buy some merch, guys.
That are addicted to pornography and addicted to the things of the flesh in this world.
The things
and
of
we
the flesh.
break the power.
That dude watches a lot of
pornography. We break the power.
Guarantee it.
Of the homosexual, lesbian spirits that are trying to ruin our children.
Look at this dude. Look at the guy on the left next to Kenneth Copeland. My left, not his. What the fuck? Look at that gigantic automaton. Who stands like that? Donald Trump. You look at him. He stands just like Donald Trump. That is, dude. What the fuck? And why is it always old white dudes? like at least like the black televangelicals, like they got like a vibe. They got the hustle going, you know? They got the fucking bling bling and shit. They standing all like comfortable and relaxed and stuff. Only old white dudes. I'm one of them. Stand like that. Like, bro, loosen up your shoulders. Bend your knees. You about to fall out. What in the world? Look at that lurch-ass looking motherfucker. Holy shit. Oh, my God.
And we break the power.
Is that Lance?
We break the power of the homosexual, lesbian spirits that are trying to ruin our children and ruin this nation.
Stuff like
Get
that.
down from there. Yeah. We sit by the throne. You are under our feet.
Homosexual, lesbian spirits that are trying to take our kids over. What does that mean? Does he think they're literal homosexual, lesbian spirits that are like...
Hold on, I only know like certain parts of the Bible. Is that in the Bible somewhere? Is it like John 3:17 is like, and beware the homosexual spirits from getting in your children, because they'll be watching the Randy Rainbow. They're going to be successful YouTube content creators making parodies of Donald Trump. We can't have that in this society. All these flamboyant gay men helping people learn how to dress. All these women kissing other women, taking their clothes off and fondling each other's boobs. It's amazing. I mean, it's bad. It's all bad. They're trapping me. I'm getting a fully right now, looking at these two women doing this thing. The lesbian spirit's getting in them, and I'm getting excited. I mean, oh, Jesus. Like, dude, I don't, it's so fucking weird. Oh, these people are so weird.
Homosexual, lesbian spirits that are like invading kids. They're like ghosts that invade kids and make them homosexual, lesbians. That's a little bit of a, like, that's, you're saying the same thing, right? It's a tautology.
Hold on.
Homosexual, lesbian, like, just say one of those.
Guys, I have a scientific question. What about gingers? Like, are gingers immune to that shit? Because, like, we don't have souls, right? So, if we don't have souls, I'm just asking, this is completely scientific, guys. No cap. That's what the kids say. Skibbity Riz toilet, okay? No cap. Can gingers get infected with the homo lesbian spirit? For science, I think my wife should check out that lesbian thing. For science. Just if there's any like gay gingers in my chat, like let me know like what that experience was like in case it happens to me, you know? Like I never know, like you know, I might be watching Kyle one day and being like, "Damn, Kyle. Like Kyle's got like his hair done up nice or something like that. And I know Kyle's got a wife. I'm just saying, if the homosexual spirit were to get into me, I wouldn't be able to handle it, you know? Like I'm just saying. Maybe what was that dude, Anderson Silva or whatever his name is, that's on CNN, the like really good looking gay dude. Fuck, what's his name? Anderson Cooper? Is that what it is? What if I'm watching Anderson Cooper one day and like the gay spirit gets inside of me? How do I stop that? What if I get like a little bit of a chub going on? Is that the feeling?
Those things, right? What is he saying? You believe that
Redonk,
like
you about to get gay spirit in you
too?
too?
Kids and make them gay, or I'm sure he would say the same thing about trans people. That these are like demonic forces
spirit.
that are making them do that, and we need the Lord to help us get out of it. Like, again, I don't know how you reason with this. I don't know how you reason with this.
Fan's trying to,
and look,
trying to get
let's
going.
call a spade a spade. On one side, you have Kamala and Tim Walz.
Dude, the other day I said that. You got to call a spade, and some dipshit in my comments was like, that's like pretty racist nowadays. And I was like, bro, I don't think you know the origins of call a spade a spade. A spade is literally a garden tool. And that's also where the term don't beat around the bush, you call a spade a spade. It's like a garden term. And I believe it's actually from fucking Plutarch, dude. I don't know. Maybe Plutarch was a racist piece of shit. It's a chance. There's a possibility, right? There's a possibility. Maybe we're going to like find some old tweets from Plutarch. They're going to be fire when we decide to cancel Plutarch and we realize, he's actually saying some really racist stuff back in the day.
And the Democrats, for all of their flaws, they're out there talking about freedom. Freedom. Respect, equality, justice, live your life as you want, none of our business, mind your own damn business, as Tim Walz says. That's one side. And this side is homosexual lesbian spirits taking over our kids that we need to stop. Guys, I've given you this fact before, but we had a vote on gay marriage last year. Because, the Supreme Court, they're afraid the Supreme Court now is going to overturn it.
How is there even two sides to this argument? Like, can you guys imagine, like, being at, like, a poll? You're just, like, somebody's, like, stops you on the street, and they're like, yo, I want you to answer a question. You're like, cool, okay, what's up? And they're like, so we have two sides. One side believes that gay and lesbian people are born that way, and we should leave them the fuck alone. And then if they want to, a dude wants to have sex with a dude, well, you don't have to if you don't want to, but he wants to, so they can. Okay? And the other side believes that possibly there are gay demon spirits that get inside of people and turn them into homosexuals. How would that be a choice? Like, could you imagine if you were, like, on a date with somebody and you got stopped and their answer was gay homosexual demons are a real thing? Like, you're like, oh, fuck, I gotta get out of here.
Understandably so.
Oh, my God,
right?
what world
because
is this?
They just threw out Roe v. Wade. Maybe they'll throw out the right to gay marriage, too, with equal protection of the law. Maybe they'll say that doesn't mean gay marriage. Sorry.
God damn, dude.
Well, they just had a vote on
This
it.
is killing me.
39 Republicans in the Senate voted against gay marriage, and 169 Republicans in the House voted against gay marriage.
Republicans are so
Understand,
pent up.
they are still
so closeted,
debating, and they are still...
Dude, how much you want to make a bet the only, like, gay people that are conservatives, that are, like, senators and congressmen, like, who... Well, George Santos isn't anymore. Who's, like, a notable gay Republican? Like, there's so little of them that I can barely even think of one. And I'm not talking about the closeted ones. I'm talking about the ones that are actually out. How much you want to make a bet they voted against gay marriage? You can't make this shit up.
Having fights that are, like, fucking ancient. Just totally illogical, extremist,
Pete's
ridiculous.
A Democrat. He's for it,
This is what they
I'm
represent.
talking about on the right. Lindsey Graham.
This is MAGA. 48...
One of my favorite impersonations is Lindsey Graham. Sir, what they have done to you and your family is a tragedy. And I will tell you this right now, Mr. Kavanaugh. Mr. Kavanaugh, I will tell you this right now. I will not stand for this, sir. Sir! That's my favorite impression to do. Tell me if I did that okay. That's my Lindsey Graham right there.
Republicans voted against the Right to IVF Act. Then it just came up again. I think 44 voted against it, right? They talk about they want to ban no-fault divorce.
Yeah.
44 Republicans, as they pretend we're pro-family, 44 Republicans voted against extending the child tax credit. Right?
So pro-family.
Look at the stuff they're calling for. Project 2025, they want to ban states from doing free school breakfast and lunch. Democratic states are doing free school breakfast and lunch. Many of them are doing that. The Republicans want to ban free school breakfast and lunch. He brought up porn addiction there. They want to ban porn. They want to cut overtime pay. They want to roll back child labor laws. A bunch of red states are rolling back child labor laws.
Thanks, Aaron.
They want to do the unitary executive theory. No checks and balances. Let Trump be an emperor. That's what they want. They want to destroy the EPA and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and the Department of Education. This is what they want.
Literally.
So here you go. I hope you enjoy
lies.
this video. This is your new Secretary of Health and Human Services, right? He beat out RFK for the position, Kenneth Copeland. Here's your new Secretary of Health and Human Services.
Oh, my
He's going to give everybody a prayer to scare away the demonic homosexual lesbian spirits. So,
bro, that's real, Kyle. That's real, Kyle. Imagine Kenneth Copeland. Oh, dude, imagine this America for 5 seconds, guys. Okay, don't unsubscribe to me, okay? I'm sorry if what I say scares you, but don't unsubscribe. I'm just barely getting over 18,000. We're trying to get to 20, okay? But imagine what a surreal experience it would be to wake up in America, to turn on your TV, and like Kenneth Copeland is standing on the White House steps talking about the gay spirit invading people's bodies. Somewhere out there are people that want that. That is fucking insanely scary. That is so crazy. Like at that point, like we going back to ghetto ginger. At that point, it's like you come anywhere near my house, dog, you getting swung on. No questions asked. I'm just gonna hit you right in the Adam's apple. They're like, I just came for sugar. And we're like, I can't take a chance.
So,
oh my God.
Hope you're ready for that future under Trump.
Wow.
All right, guys. That's the show. Love y'all very much. You know the drill. Everybody, please click like.
Greg
Please
Locke,
click
that's
subscribe.
another good
Support
one.
the show on Patreon or tip with that thanks button on YouTube.
Here, I'm gonna put Kyle. I don't know if I've ever put Kyle's chat. We don't watch a lot of Kyle. There's things that Kyle says that I don't agree with, and that's fine. That's the way we're supposed to be. We're not in a cult. But I like some of the stuff Kyle covers. I know that not everybody's a huge fan. I like some of the stuff he covers, and some of the stuff he covers I disagree with. I don't hate him for it, but I disagree with. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed to Kyle, I think he's a pretty cool progressive voice. And he says things that are different than me, so you should subscribe to him just to get a different point of view, in my opinion. That's how I feel about that. This is a weird part to start on, but I've watched a couple Noah Samsen videos, and they've been pretty funny. Now, Noah Samsen, as I said, is a lot like Kyle, a lot more progressive than I am. A lot like Mike Figueredo, a lot more progressive than I am. So I'm going to disagree with some of the stuff he says, but I think he's pretty fucking funny. So, first of all, don't forget to like the stream. And second, let's watch this video, because it says the anti-woke guys keep getting weirder. And you know what? Actually, before we get into this video, I want to say something that I heard, because I learned about this Andy Pants guy from this other gamer guy. I forgot what the other guy's name is. Damn, I'm sorry for drawing a blank, other gamer guy. But the other gamer guy was debating him on whether or not games are woke. And he said something that I really liked, because the Andy Pants guy was like, why won't you say that games are woke? You know that there's 3 black women in this video game. That's woke. And he was like, you know why I don't say woke? Because this guy is a kind of a middle ground guy. He talks shit about the right, talks shit about left. He doesn't talk politics, to be honest. He just talks about video games. So he just shits on video games when he thinks they're bad, and he talks about video games when he thinks they're good in a good way. But this Andy Pants guy wants to turn everything into politics, so, video games are woke. That's his whole stance. So he gets on this dude, and he says, why won't you call woke games woke? And he was like, you want to know why I don't call woke games woke? He goes, because there's a little story, and that little story is called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. He goes, in the story, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, which we all know, he said there was a wolf, people said there was a wolf, there's a wolf, there's a wolf, there's a wolf, there's a wolf. He goes, and then one day, there was a wolf, and nobody believed him. And he goes, that's how I feel when people constantly call everything woke. That's woke because I don't like it. That's woke because I disagree with it. That's woke because I want to insult somebody. He goes, you just, there's got to be, if you really think that this is an issue, then there's got to be some power to the word. It's the same thing that I've said to people on the left when I hear somebody on the left call somebody racist, that I don't believe they said something racist. Like, we shouldn't use that term unless it specifically applies. Because when you use it too much, it starts to lose the power. It's one of the reasons I don't allow people on the left or right to talk about the harm of children as an insult for the other side. And that is because I don't want you guys accusing people of doing something as horrific as harming a child that it hasn't been proven, because you're taking away the power of it. And you should never take away the power of that word. Because when somebody is called that, when they are branded that, it should be known that that person is a deplorable, disgusting, garbage, trash human being. And there should be no question. And so this whole woke shit, it just drives me up a wall that people, everything's woke, anything I don't like. If somebody doesn't laugh at my joke because I made a shitty joke, it's because they're woke. I hate that shit. And so I was like, this video looks like something I'd like to watch. So we're watching it.
Hello, viewers. Apparently there's a crisis in masculinity going on. I hadn't gotten the memo about that, but I want to learn about...
Ozzy just like... I just sat here for 5 minutes talking about all the shit that I believe about this. Ozzy just condensed this entire video into one comment. Those moderate progressive kids are indeed a bit funny with their dry, slightly condescending humor. That is Noah Samson to a T. Oh, he shaved his mullet. Why would you shave your mullet, bro? Don't shave your mullet. It was great. Wow.
Hello, viewers. Apparently there's a crisis in masculinity going on. I hadn't gotten the memo about that, but I want to learn about what's going on today from one of my favorite YouTubers. He's called Andy Pants Gaming. He's been blowing up lately. He had a video 2 months ago. Who killed masculinity in video games? 2.6 million views. The pussification of video games? 1.1 million views. Why are video games so gay now? Almost a million views 2 months ago. Why I quit playing video games? That was 4 months ago. 200,000 views. I wonder why. Today's video is called What is the Crisis of Masculinity? And as we can see, we have soldiers in 1945, and now we have two smiling guys. Unbelievable what's happened to this world.
And here's my thing with the masculinity thing. When people want to talk about like what's masculine, like if we're just talking about like traditional masculinity, like it's not a great thing. When you talk about like what men were doing to their wives in the 50s and 60s, like there's literal serial killers that were created because as kids they watched their moms get beaten by their fathers, and then when the police showed up at their house, the police were like, well, you should have listened to your husband. And a lot of these people, their idea of masculinity in many ways is tied to this like traditional male role model. But I'll tell you what I think like a heterosexual masculine male should be. And that's a person that's dependable. That's a person that your family can look to and understand that no matter what happens in life, no matter how bad things get, you're always going to be there. Now, that doesn't have to be specifically a masculine trait, but I think that if you are masculine, that's something that you should have as a heterosexual masculine male. I think being masculine is also being capable of admitting when you're wrong, because being a good leader is admitting when you're wrong. I think being masculine is being a good parent and being involved in your children's lives. I think being masculine is being able to understand when you've done something in your relationship that was incorrect and admit to it and fix it and sacrifice things. I think that being masculine isn't going to work and working with your buddies and telling them about how much you hate going home because, God, your wife's such a nag. I think being masculine is looking forward to going home and being around your kids and your wife because you've created an environment as a role model that you want to return to, that you look forward to returning to. I think being masculine is having children that you look at and go, I help them be good people that help other people be good people. So my definition of what masculine is a whole lot different than what most of these guys are talking about when they say there's no more masculinity in video games. Because to me, that's weird. Because I see plenty of characters in video games that are dependable, respectable, honorable, good people that happen to be heterosexual men. And to me, that's masculinity.
In this country. Let's jump right in.
Fellas, some of you younger guys really need to hear this right now. And I know a lot of you older guys already know this, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's an absolutely essential message in the absolute clown world that we live in right now.
Speak truth, man. I'm ready. Hit us with it, Andy Pants Gaming or Andrew Pants Gaming to you, viewers.
You're a man. You're not a woman. You're not gay. You're not trans.
Okay, so far.
And by the way, like I said, guys, this dude has a bunch of tweets or community posts on Xbox where he says there cannot be enough gay characters in video games. We need more diversity. We need more trans people. We need more gay people. That was like a year ago or a couple years ago that he posted these tweets. But as soon as he posted one anti-woke video game and it got 500,000 views, all of a sudden he was like, no gays in video games, no trans in video games, you're all being pussies. It seems weird. It seems weird.
As far as for me, my experience of viewing, he's correct.
You're not bisexual. You're not pansexual.
Is he trying to weed out the viewers based on demographics? Like if a woman's watching this and it gets to this part?
You're a man.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Or is he doing conversion therapy right now?
You're not pansexual. Work a real job.
What's
Get
a
around
real
some
job?
real men. Do manual labor. Do something difficult. I promise any gender
Hold on, isn't bro a fucking content creator? Oh, man. Oh, dude. Dog. Oh, fuck. Is this guy a construction worker? Oh, is this guy like fucking roofing during the day? Oh, brother. Oh, man, this is great. Dude, if you don't work in construction, you're gay.
confusion leaves your body the moment you lift.
Is he trying to weed out the viewers based on demographics? Like if a woman's watching this and it gets to this part?
You're a man.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Or is he doing conversion therapy right now?
You're not pansexual.
Oh,
Work
man,
a real job. Get around some real men. Do manual labor. Do something difficult. I promise any gender confusion leaves your body the moment you lift some heavy weight.
Oh my God, who takes this shit seriously? Oh my God. Like there's no gay dudes that lift weights. Oh my God. Oh, this is fucking brilliant. Maybe he's a genius. This dude might be a genius. I'll be fucking honest with you. This is gold. This is fucking comedy gold. What if this guy is trolling? Like, does this guy know who Sean T is? Dude, if you don't know who Sean T is, Google Sean T. S-H-A-U-N-T. Go ahead and take a look at Sean T. And go ahead and take a look at Sean T's gay-ass husband, too. And then you tell me whether or not those dudes have ever lifted any heavy weights in their life. You tell me if those guys have ever done anything physical. Maybe it's just all a grift. Maybe they're just two heterosexual males that like to kiss. Holy, this is the most amazing thing. Oh, his mic mutes when he laughs? Fuck, I need that. What mic does he have? Because you poor people have to hear it every time I cackle. I am so sorry for all of you guys when I start cackling. I am so sorry. It's my bad.
Bro, what are you talking?
Oh, fuck.
No, he's right, though. He's got a point.
Scientifically, it increases your testosterone.
Chat, is this true? Can you guys let me know? Does pumping iron lead to detransition? Is this real?
There are only two genders, and you're the man one, so act like one. You were made to conquer. The Bible says you were made to rule. You were made to shit up.
Yes, conquest as a man. You're so strong. Andy Pants Gaming from his Andy Pants Gaming chair.
You were made to do the difficult thing. You were made to do the hard thing. You were made to get married. You were made to have kids. You were made to work hard enough to support a family and sit on a park.
Bro, the music is killing me. I can't right now. Oh, fuck. We're going to have to take breaks, guys. We're going to have to take breaks. Because if we don't, my old ass is going to have a heart attack. Whew. Whew. Okay, I think I'm okay now. Somebody bring me some water.
Park bench while you watch your kids play one day.
Wait, if everybody that watches this does that, there's not going to be enough benches at the park. We're going to have to build more benches. That's a manual labor job for you right there, a bench builder.
You were made to die in a hospital bed one day surrounded by your loved ones.
That sounds soy as hell.
I was going to say, that is not masculine. That's not some Viking shit. What? You were made to die in a hospital bed surrounded by your family? What the fuck, Andy Pants? This is why I know he's not serious. This is why I know he knows nothing about masculinity. Everybody knows you are supposed to die pillaging a village. Come on! What the fuck? I feel like I got baited. I got baited. Is that the Band of Brothers music? Oh, thank you, Fan. Fan with $20. Woke was hijacked by radical feminists. Woke meant understanding the racism minorities face, but feminists made it about persecuting men, accusing men of misogyny. No joke, they hate because it's been used the wrong way. I think I'm going back to my original point. Yes, woke does come from the black community. Woke is is terminology that is specific to black culture and hip hop. It was a big catalyst for that. I don't know much about the feminist side of it. I think that obviously feminism did some really good things. I think, well, as it is with any given movement, there's people within a movement that could be seen as being a little too radical or extreme. But then again, I'm a white dude, you know? Like, I don't know if I'm the person to tell you about whether or not somebody should be extreme or radical about something, because it's not like I've had a lot of my rights fucking taken from me, or hell, I haven't been oppressed very much, and I was like as poor as you possibly can be, and as a white dude, I literally feel like I never was actually oppressed. So as far as that goes, I don't know much about it. I guess I can't comment too much about that. But my main problem with the use of the word woke is there might be like a way to use it as an insult. I don't see it. I'm trying to figure out the way it could be used as an insult. But to be honest with you, I think in the black culture, it was meant as being like aware of society's ills. I think that's big. Oh, what's my definition of woke? I'm giving it right now. Thank you, Alan. Thank you for the $10. And thank you for the $20. What is my definition of woke? I think that woke is the idea. I'm basing this mostly off of, I guess, like the cultural meaning of it. If you're asking me what I think woke is in like today's society, that might be a different question. So let's do it two parts. First of all, the original meaning of woke was to be aware of how society oppresses minorities, specifically the black culture, and being aware, knowing about the things. I think that was being woke, right? Woke nowadays, I think, is a broader term. I don't know about the feminism thing because, like I said, I don't want to get into something I don't know something about. So I don't want to speak on feminism when I know very little about feminism. But as far as I understand the way that work is used nowadays, people that use it in a positive manner are saying things like, we're just aware that people that are LGBT exist and care that other people know that they exist because that normalizes them in society, which is something that every single person should want, whether you're male, female, heterosexual, bisexual, transgender, whether you're a non-binary person or fuck it, if you want to be known as a cat. Like, almost everybody just wants to be recognized as being part of society and wants it to be understood that you deserve the same rights that other human beings do. So that's what I think that woke in a positive manner means. I think woke as an insult from like the conservative types is like saying that you're too aware of things and that you're constantly bringing it up and you're constantly like throwing in their face their white privilege, or you're constantly shoving LGBT stuff down their throats. But when it comes to people thinking that people are like shoving LGBT stuff down their throat, like, I don't get that. I really don't understand it. To be honest with you, I don't feel that way. Like, when I see a gay couple on TV, I'm just like, that's a gay couple. I don't care. Like, and maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm different than other people. Maybe even on the left, people think it's too much. I don't know. Like, I think that the normalizing of gay relationships through media is very important. I think that, like, my kids grow up in a, like, mostly white culture where I live, right? Like, where I live is almost all white people. Like, I mean, like 97%, right? But I come from, like, a crazy background. I grew up around Laotians, Cambodians, Arab Americans, African Americans, Asians, Latinos, like everybody, right? Like, I grew up in like all the cultures. So when I talk to my kids about certain things, it like blows their mind. So I get to like see it like firsthand, like the effect that not having it in your media can affect you if you're not exposed to it in your culture. So when I see like a gay couple on TV, I don't even think twice about it, to be honest with you. I'm just like, oh, look, two gay dudes. Like, I'm not into kissing dudes, so I'm kind of like, I'm not really, this part isn't for me. But I also say that. I say if something isn't for you, then it wasn't for you. Like, wasn't made for you, and that's okay. If I see, you know, like there's more African American characters than white characters, I don't really care. Because at one point where I grew up, I was the white character among all the black people. I used to make the joke that I wanted to make a parody movie about my life called Dances with Black People. Because at one point or another, I was like one of the only, like, I mean, there was a bit of us, but like what the high school I went to was like fucking, when I moved to this one immigrant community, was like 98% Mexican people. Like, not shitting you, all immigrant farm workers. So like, I'm used to at times being in the minority, and I'm okay with that. Like, I don't get the anti-woke shit, because to be honest with you, I don't get upset seeing other people get lifted up, because I don't feel like that takes anything away from me. So like, when people use it as an insult, it seems kind of weird to me, because I think it says more about you than them. When you're like, I hate that you're shoving this LGBT shit down my throat. To me, that says that like, you're so hyper aware of other people's gayness, their homosexuality, or the lesbianism, whatever it is, that it like offends you when you see it, because you're hyper aware of it. In fact, somebody pointed it out in one of this dude's videos, not this dude, but the Andy Pants videos, that as soon as a black character comes on screen, he goes, woke, woke, woke. As soon as a gay character comes on screen, he's like, dude, more woke, more woke, more woke. Like, you know, it's like, that shit is like it's crazy to me that somebody like is that hyper aware of something. Like, I just live my life, dude. I want to see people do good. Even with you conservatives, when y'all be getting mad about shit, I'm just like, bro, don't be mad. Like, just understand people are different than you. I'm not even telling you to, like, go fuck off. I'm like, I understand that you're mad. It's okay. Just don't be, because it's not worth it. You're just ruining your own life and other people's. So I hope that was with your $20 fan and your $10, Alan. Like I said, I don't want to speak much to the feminism movement because I don't know enough about it, and I would sound like a moron up here attempting to talk about something that I know very little about. So if I ever get to a point where I get deep on the feminism arc, I will talk about that. Redonk says there are also people that dislike seeing the woke thing used as a catcall for everything. Yeah, that's me. I hate that, like, everything is like anything you dislike is woke. Like that
hell, surrounded by loved ones. There's not going to be enough benches at the park. I have to build more benches. That's a manual labor job for you right there, a bench builder.
You were made to die in a hospital bed one day surrounded by your loved ones.
That sounds soy as hell, surrounded by loved ones, and they're like hugging you and kissing you. Ew, no, go to war. Go explode on a beach.
Literally,
you soy.
You can't have loved ones if you never have kids.
Wait, what?
Bro,
wait.
I feel bad for his wife.
About to say, you can't was this shit written by ChatGPT? This had to have been written by ChatGPT. This dude's writing scripts for ChatGPT, dog. You can't have loved ones if you don't have kids? Like, bro, I've had dogs that like more than people. What are you talking about? I definitely have had dogs that liked me more than people that liked me. Like, dude, I have other than my wife, even my own kids. My kids see me and they're like, "Oh, you're home." Unless they need something, right? And then they're like, "Dad," right? Like, fucking, you come home and your dog's like, "Oh, where you been? Where you been, bro? God, I love you. What's up, man? I love you so much. Are you okay? Is everything good? Can I do anything?" Like, there is like no other being that ever loves you the way a dog does.
Man, he's just openly admitting he doesn't love her.
You were made to be brave. You were made to be loyal. And in the very bottom of you, I know these things exist in you.
Really? Thank you.
When somebody needs to be brave enough to run headlong into danger and possibly get killed, do they send a woman? Do they send a lady boy? No, they send a...
Wait, does this guy know that women are in the military now? Someone should let him know. Someone should update him to 2024 that women are now allowed to fight on the front lines. Also, has this dude seen some of these? I thought that like all of these guys like hated that women were super masculine now. I thought this is one of those guys that hate like the girl that was the rugby player that would beat the shit out of Andy Pants. I thought that like all of these dudes called it the uglification of women. This dude knows that like Amanda Nunes would mop him up, right? Like, if you asked me, so here's the question. Here's the question of masculinity, guys. If you had soy ass Andy Pants, okay, and then you had Amanda Nunes, like, who are you gonna pick to defend you? Like, let's just say you on trial by combat. You're Tyrion Lannister, okay, and you have a choice. You can pick Amanda Nunes or you can pick Andy Pants to defend you. And whoever, if they lose, you die horrifically. Like, they literally, like, it's a death by 1,000 cuts. I don't know about you guys, but I'm picking Amanda Nunes every fucking time. What the fuck? First wave feminism was the right to vote. Second wave feminism was all the other rights. Third wave feminism was they started hating men in the 1980s. And fourth wave feminism started with the Me Too movement. So, I mean, as a whole, other than hating men, I don't have any problem with any of that. Like I said, I need to look more into that. I don't like talking about topics that I'm not very well educated on. What's up, Star? But first wave feminism, that sounds right. Second wave feminism sounds right. Third wave feminism, like, I know that there's like a certain type of person that's like, all men are pieces of shit. Like, I don't like anybody like that. But I think there's terrible human beings in every group. Like, I've said that before. If like you ever follow me and think that I don't think any transgender people are bad people, you're going to be surprised at one point. If you think that following me means that like I'm never going to say anything bad about the left or progressives or liberals, you're going to be surprised. I think that there's assholes in every single group. I think there's douchebag gay people. I think there's douchebag straight people. I think there's douchebag black people. I think there's douchebag white people. I think there's douchebag women, douchebag men, douchebag non-binary people. You know, I think that there's assholes in every single thing. So, yeah, if it's like a woman that's like, yo, I'm a feminist and men are pieces of shit, I think that person's a douchebag. I can say that without knowing much about the subject. If you're a woman and you say things like, men are garbage, all men are pieces of shit, fuck men, well, obviously I'm going to be like, you're kind of an asshole. As far as the Me Too movement goes, I don't have any problem with the Me Too movement. I think that the Me Too movement was a good idea. I think that it helped a lot of women that potentially were afraid to speak out. And does that mean that there was no men that were harmed in that? No, of course not. Once again, like, of course there were people during that movement, women, that chose to take advantage and use it to harm certain dudes. Like I said, there's always going to be douchebags and everything. I try to judge things by the whole, not by the part, right? Like, it's like when you hear like conservatives or people that are arguing in abortion arguments and they use like the most extreme thing. They're like, they brought the baby out when it was newly born and left it on the table until it died. And you're like, okay, so do you want to talk about the fact that, first of all, like, that almost never happens, and the reason that it happened was because the baby literally couldn't live outside the womb without the mother's care. Like, literally. Like I don't like getting into the extremes of things and using those as my explanation for whether or not I approve of something or not. Generally, I'm going to approve of something based off the whole, not by like the extremes. Yeah, with the Me Too thing, like I said, I think it was, I don't think it engendered a generation of hatred. I think that it empowered some women, and then, was it like divisive? It depends on how you look at it. Once again, I think that this comes down to how you handle it, right? Like, I don't have any problems. I've never had a woman accuse me of sexually assaulting her because I've never done that. I'm very respectful of women because I grew up with my mom and my two sisters who were abused every way possible. My sisters were sexually, physically, mentally, and emotionally abused by the men in their lives for their entire lives. So I 100% support women speaking out. And I'm not saying you don't, fan, just by the way. I don't know your point of view, and oftentimes these discussions between me on mic and you on chat can be very awkward, and we don't get to say the things that we want to say in the way we want to say them. But as far as the Me Too movement goes, like, the way I look at it is something my wife said to me a long time ago. She said, men are X. And I was like, hey, I'm not that. And she's like, I'm not talking about you. And then we're having another conversation. And she said, men are X. And I said, hey, that's not what I do. And she said, I'm not talking about you. And then she said, men are X. And I was like, hey, stop. Like, that, I don't do those things. And she said, then I'm not talking about you. And it took me a minute to understand that. And sometimes we become a little insecure because we see other people do things that are equated with us, and we don't want to be seen as those people. And so in that case, obviously, it's a very sensitive subject for me because of what happened to my mom and my sisters and me, and also me. I also was abused in every way possible when I was a child by men. But I had to recognize something. She wasn't talking about me. And I should be confident enough. I should be secure enough to be like, they're not talking about me. So I think the reason that like the Me Too movement didn't hurt my feelings was because I was like, I didn't do those things. And I prove on a daily basis to the people that I love, the people that support me, that I'm not that type of person. Therefore, if anyone were to ever make allegations against me, the people that I love, that I respect, would know that I'm not that kind of person. So I think that's why, like, I don't know, the Me Too movement didn't affect me in that way. I can see what you're going for, though. Where are men's reproductive rights? Well, that's a good question. Like, I don't have any problem with that. I think that men should be, in many ways, also be thought about that as well. I'll let you guys argue about it in chat. Just don't eat each other. Remember, you're all on the same side. Don't eat each other. That's all I'm saying. Have good conversations. Some of these conversations are really difficult. They're really hard. And you've got to be better at navigating them. So don't eat your own, okay? Have the conversation, but realize, for the most part, you agree on almost everything, but some, minor talking.
Killed. Do they send a woman? Do they send a lady boy? No, they send a man.
What? Bro, wait, you followed directions from another man? Another man told you to go die and you did it? Feminine trait, submissive and breedable trait, that's all I'm saying.
When they need someone to explore the icy north and spend 40 days at sea catching rare sea life in the most dangerous conditions imaginable, did they send somebody who is confused about their sexuality? No, they send a man.
Yo, you have no idea what those two yellow individuals are going through, man. They could be questioned.
You have no idea. Dude, Caitlyn Jenner was transgender. Like, if you saw, what was how do I dead name Caitlyn? What was what was Caitlyn's original name? Whatever. Bruce. If you saw Bruce Jenner running the Olympics, you would have been like, that mother, look at that. Physical athlete, that's what a man should be. And then, like, 10 years later, Caitlyn Jenner wearing heels and a skirt. Do you see why I say, like, people should just kind of, like, chill the fuck out? Like, first of all, this is my opinion. But because of where I grew up, I have anecdotal evidence of this being true. Traits are not gender specific. There are some things that you are more likely to do based off of genetics and gender. Certain things, I'm a fan of Steven Pinker. Steven Pinker talks about the fact that I think it's like men are better at cognitively predisposed to be better at like recognizing patterns, and women are better at recognizing spatial difference. Or maybe that's vice versa. It's been a long time since I looked at it. But there seems to be some things that genetically, based off certain things within your body, brain matter development, and the size of different zones of your brain, that makes you better or worse at things, right? But the argument with gender roles is that, like, all women want to do X or all men want to do X. But being where I come from and being that to live that life, you have to be like a pretty physically violent person. You have to be willing to be aggressive, be confrontational, to get in physical fights with people. And if you don't, then you end up being a mark or a punk, right? So I knew women, my sister's been to jail. My sister has Cowboys Kick Ass tattooed on her shoulder, Like my sister, me and her got in fist fights in which she once kicked me so hard in the head that my head bounced off of a car's rim. Most dudes would think a lot of the things that my sisters learned growing up because of their environment would be masculine traits. But I tell you this, they're heterosexual. Well, one of them was bisexual. Both of them, I guess, could be, to be honest. You learn more about what you like through experiences than you do through genetics. It's just true. It's just true. You might be predisposed to some things for sure, but the majority of the things of who you are as a person is built through experience. It's crazy. Women like to do X. Thank you. The minion edit was fire. It was fire.
Questioning. They could be swimming among the crabs and thinking, do I want to grab these crabs even, or do I want to kiss this guy? But in walks Andy Pants Gaming telling us what they think, telling us this is what these yellow bellers, this is what these straight men think.
But this is what I like, fan, is what you said. The video in black and white is just stupid, toxic masculinity. And that's why it's important for us to watch it. That's why it's important for Noah to watch it. Because you can both prove that being masculine is okay. Like, I feel pretty like a masculine person, but, maybe some people do look at some of the things I do as being toxic or whatever, and that's their opinion. That's for them to do. Like, some people would look at the fact that I insult the dude that made the shitty video as being toxic. That's their opinion. That's okay. I'm all right with that. I think it's about being secure in yourself, being confident in yourself, right? And I think that black and white video is toxic because it reeks of insecurity. It reeks of false confidence. It's like the person that tells you, Like, I'm really, really confident. You don't know. You don't understand. Like, I'm the most confident person in any room. I'm always the leader. Like, no, you're not. Because if you were, you wouldn't have to tell me about it. You wouldn't have to make a video. You wouldn't have to make a video.
Women are meant to be at home in a safe and comfortable environment so that they can tend to the children. Men are meant to go out into the rain and the cold and the mud to bring home money to let that home happen.
Why are you talking like you do this stuff? You're a blogger. Click, clack, this script up on your little laptop. It was probably a gaming PC. RGB blasting your face. And you went up to the mic real close and you said, "You're not a man unless you get wet and muddy at work. And you almost die every time." Pause the recording, edit it together. The oil rig workers are gonna love this one. This video does make me want to go high up on a bridge, but not to work.
The number one most important thing in your life is to have a relationship with God. But number two behind that, for you non-religious folks, is to be a man and have a family.
I haven't seen this type of rhetoric so, like, openly with...
I wonder if this dude has kids. Because it almost always turns out, when I talk to all these people, like I had this one guy on X once, and I like to peruse the conservative X, because the conservative X is a deep, dark world, and you can buy crack and sometimes have gay sex. I'm not going to tell you how I know that. But while doing that, I saw this girl, and she had posted something about RFK, and this is pre-RFK going over to Trump, and she had said, "I'm a conservative and I support Republican values, but I don't support Trump. I think RFK is the better example of conservative values. You can be mad at me if you want, but I'm going to vote RFK." And this guy, who of course had his picture of him working out, fucking cut, bro. Okay? And he went on there and he pretty much just said, "You're a stupid woman. No one should listen to you." And I was like, I don't have to agree with this lady to defend her. I don't have to. I just like that she stood up and told people, you know what? I'm going to vote for the person that I think is the right person. And if that makes you mad, well, that's okay. So I hopped on there and I said, "Hey, I don't agree with your politics, but I support that you're actually standing up to this cult and said, I'm not going to be pushed in a corner and made to vote for the person you want me to vote for. I like this guy better." And that guy decided to jump on my comment. And he said, "Bro, she's just an idiot," or whatever he said. "She's just an idiot. Like, how am I wrong?" And so I told him all the ways he was wrong. And then I finished the comment by going and looking at his X feed and seeing that he's a masculine man that doesn't have a relationship, has no children, is like a mediocre Twitter guy with no real career. And so I finished my comment with, for a guy that's so about this life, you know what's crazy? I have 2 kids. I have a wife of over 20 years. I have a career I'm very successful in. I own my own home. I am literally everything you tell these kids they should be, and you are none of them. And he didn't want to respond to that. But she did. She sent me a message and she said, "Hey, like, you're right. We don't agree politically, but thank you for standing up for me." And all I said to her was, "I'm not going to sit around and watch bullies be bullies. I bully bullies."
I mean, it's a popular video too. Since I was like a child, this kind of billow
is to be a man and have a family.
I haven't seen this type of rhetoric so, like, openly with, I mean, it's a popular video too. Since I was like a child, this kind of Bill O'Reilly vibes I'm getting right now, out and out religious conservatism. And it feels like the media landscape has changed, but not enough apparently. There's a market for this now. So Bill, if you're watching, start a channel. You can do it. I'll give you even tips as well.
Every road in every country was built by men. Every bridge and skyscraper was built by men.
I don't think that's true.
Every car, every vehicle, every machine was designed by a man.
Is that true? Yeah, I just looked it up. It's true. Oh my God. Wow. And girls have cooties as well, by the way, just so you know.
And here's the thing I need you guys to realize.
Bro, this is some Trump supporter shit. He just says things and these incels are like, "Fuck yeah, exactly. Men build bridges. No woman has ever built a bridge." Like, ever? Like, what did women do? Like, back in the caveman days? Like, what if like a cave woman were to be venturing out because let's say the hunter died and the gatherer is left alone with the child, and then they come to a river. But not a big river. Let's say more of a big stream. And she was like, well, guess that's the end for me and my child. Women have never built anything. It seems weird. It seems strange that anybody could like hear that and be like, ugh. You know, like if you're an incel that's watching this guy's videos, let me just say this to you. It's okay. It's okay if you're watching dude's video and you don't know because you never gotten any pussy. It's understandable. Like that women built things. I am fucking trolling right now. If you hear that, it's okay if you thought to yourself for just 1 second, that sounds weird. I think women built something. And also, just so you know, that if you've never had sex in your life and you go around telling women that they're worthless and have never built anything, I can guarantee for you that you will never have sex in your life.
In
Jesus
every country was built by men. Every bridge and skyscraper was built by men.
Amazing.
Every car, every vehicle, every machine was designed by a man.
Is that true? Yeah, I just looked it up. It's true. Oh my God. Wow. And girls have cooties as well, by the way, just so you know.
And here's the thing I need you guys to realize.
God,
this is your world. So why are we acting like we don't run this shit?
Yo, I'm getting hyped, dude. What are we doing? Colonialism? What's on the
Let's
agenda,
go!
man? You doing an AI monarchy again? Fuck it. I'll be your Prince Charming. Maybe.
Is there any undiscovered
Why have
countries?
we allowed liberal women and DEI initiatives to infect the workplace? Why have we continued to allow gay femboy trash in video games?
Hold on, was that Captain Planet? Bro, did he put Captain Planet up in that? Not actual Captain Planet, but like people from Captain Planet? Because right now, that's you about to get in trouble, dog. No one talks about Captain Planet like that. I will fuck you up, okay? Like you want to see me at a charity boxing match, dog? You put Captain Planet up in there, I'm gonna see you on the street, okay? You talking about my cartoons?
Trash in video games.
I can't. What is it? Dude, this is so wild. I can't believe this is happening in 2024 on
100%.
YouTube.
Why have we continued to buy and allow
We're stopping
woke
the video for one more rant, and then we're gonna finish up tonight. Exactly what Fan just said. When I say men need a masculinist movement, we need real, positive male role models like Biden and Walz. The incels are going Trump because he's the only one talking to them. Fan, thank you so much. Because this is one of those times where I'm going to say to people, you might not agree with me on this, but I 100% agree that the left has been terrible about talking to young men, because I do believe for a long time we said women's rights are important, and that should come without a doubt. When we say things like LGBT rights are important, that should come with zero doubt. Those things are true and they are important. But when you're raising kids and you've got one kid that you feel like that one kid isn't doing as well, and then you feel like the other kid could be doing better, but you're not paying a lot of attention to him because you're paying a lot of attention to the one kid, then you're doing it wrong. You don't have to concentrate just on females' rights. You don't have to just concentrate on the LGBT rights and then say to all the young men they have to like sit aside and they don't get a chance. Like, no, you can do both things. Sure, one takes up a little bit more of your attention, but you should never, ever forget about your other kid while you're trying to help the one kid that needs the help. And so I've been saying this about the left for a really long time. They do a really bad job of talking to young men. We need to do better, and we need to be better. And that comes from the men on the left. If you're on the left and you feel like that's something that you make a focus, there should be nothing wrong with that. You should be able to do it. But you need to teach men to be respectful. You need to teach men to respect women. You need to teach men to respect other people's rights regardless of their gender or their sexuality. You need to teach men that if you want other people to respect you, then you got to respect yourself. And there's a way to talk to young men that you can reach them and still support LGBT rights and still support women's rights and still support minorities. In fact, if you want to have the big picture, the total picture, then you got to speak to those young men. Because right now, those young men are going to the right because they don't have any role models on the left. Now, I'm not saying there's no good men on the left. I'm saying that we aren't specifically speaking to them. And sometimes we do got to be better about that. That's on me, you know? Like, I got to be better about that. I have to do a better job of speaking to young men. That's on me. And we got to accept it. No, Andrew Tate is garbage. Andrew Tate is fucking garbage. Oh, and I do remember the game Leisure Suit Larry. Total. Woke Mike, you going to sleep? Have a good night, Woke Mike. And, you know, like I said, some people ain't going to agree with that. But that's okay. That's my job. My job isn't to sit up here and to say things so that way people follow me. My job is to sit up here and speak honestly about the things I believe, to be willing to be corrected by other people's information when they are correct and I am incorrect. And my job is to, like, you know, to be a positive catalyst for, like, good outcomes for other people. That's my job. Like, that's what I should be doing. That's why this video is so fucking hilarious. Is this guy is like, he's so far off the mark with all the shit he believes. And the reason he's off the mark with the shit he believes is because he doesn't believe this stuff. He doesn't believe this stuff. There's no fucking way the dude that this Andy Pants guy believes the things he's saying. It's just a grift. He knows there's a bunch of people out there that will pay money for this. He don't want to be the angry ginger with 50 people watching his show. He wants to be famous. He wants to be popular. He wants to be rich. But, like, that's like, you know, somebody said to me once, he said, you become successful by helping other people become successful. And that's what I'm all about. That's what I'm all about.
Allow gay femboy trash in video games.
I can't. What is it? Dude, this is so wild. I can't believe this is happening in 2024 on YouTube.
Why have we continued to buy and allow woke video games when everybody knows that the golden age of video games is when they were masculine?
Hold on. Oh, that's the new Ghost of... I was like, Ghost of Tsushima? How is Ghost of Tsushima? They don't understand that this black samurai that's in this new Assassin's Creed game was literally a historical figure. Like, there was literally a black samurai in Japan during that time. This is how fucking stupid these people are. Jesus Christ. You know the other weird thing about these fucking incels? I bet you this guy makes female characters all the time. I bet you this guy plays Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14 or some other MMO, and I guarantee you this motherfucker makes female characters all the time. All the time. Guarantee it.
Games when everybody knows that the golden age of video games is when they were masculine 20 years ago.
Everyone does know this, and this is true. If you've ever played video games, we all know that when they were masculine, they were better, and now they're gay and they're bad. He's just speaking undeniable truths.
There's two big reasons for all of this. Number one, we've been betrayed by our own. We have been betrayed by gay, beta cuck, liberal men.
We've been betrayed by our own. All those other
Hold on. If you're a liberal gay cuck, does that means one dude has sex with your husband in front of you, right? Now I'm starting to get it. This is what these guys think about. These guys think about a dude having sex with another dude in front of a dude. Totally not gay.
Liberal cucks.
Do not trust men who won't look you in the eyes.
True. It's very true.
If a guy ever tells you he thinks men and women should always split the check, he's a soft man. If a guy ever tells you he thinks it's the woman's job to lead the household just as...
Fuck, I blame...
Hold on. Did I have to stop this video every 10 seconds? between Noah, I should have just watched the Andy Pants video, but I still would have stopped that one every 10 seconds too. If a man and a woman split the check every time, you're less of a dude? What if she got a good job, dog? Hold on. What if like she's a lawyer? Like, I can understand, like, I don't think it matters as far as gender, like who pays. I think the person who pays should be the person that is better off financially. Like, that just makes logical sense, right? Like, I think that if you go on a date with a girl and you have a successful career and she has a successful career, like, it's okay to split the check, right? That just makes good fiscal sense. This is why these guys shouldn't be allowed anywhere near leadership. They don't make good fiscal decisions. Like, if I'm sitting at the restaurant and the girl's like, you know what, I got plenty of money, let me pay my part. I'm like, yo, dog, all right, that's cool. Also, my birthday's coming up. What's up? That's such a weird thing to say. It's not masculine to let the woman pay for half the bill. Wouldn't it be actually like more like ballsy to be like, no, you gotta pay your own part? Like, wouldn't that be more like, you gotta do your thing?
It's very true.
So.
If a guy ever tells you he thinks men and women should always split the check, he's a soft man. If a guy ever tells you he thinks it's the woman's job to lead the household,
I play video games and I agree with that, DJ.
Okay.
If a guy ever lets his wife drive, he is sus.
Dude, what?
Whoa!
This is awesome. Where did they find?
First of all, see, this is why this motherfucker is soft. Okay. He said, "Oh, we're about to get into this. My wife knows why." All right. He said, "If you ever let your wife drive, you're sus." I tell you what, dog. See me in the ring, Andy Pants. I'm a 40-plus-year-old man, and I will slap the dog shit out of you. See me in a charity ring anytime, brother. Oh my God. He said if you let your wife drive, first of all, motherfucker, gangsters ride shotgun. Okay? Little bitch ass.
Where did they make this guy?
The problem is when we give these men, these beta men, positions of power and follow them rather than letting masculinity lead.
Luke Skywalker, hey, I know him. I was always saying that about Star Wars. They should have let Darth Vader win with his deep voice and stuff, and his commanding presence, and he did kinky sort of dom stuff. And all we get is all this woke crap about resistance. Should have let the good guys win, man.
I read an interesting stat the other day. Did you know that 90% of the women around the world, regardless of their religion, culture, or color, 90% of women around the world agree that men should plan the first date?
Wait, I heard a different stat. I heard that 90% of women said that they didn't want that. I heard.
He said 90% of women around the world, they fucking polled every woman in the world to ask them the most important question that they'll ever be asked. What was the question? Who pays on the date? Not who do they want to lead the world? Not like what the best traits a dude could have. Not, whether or not they should drive or he should drive. Come on, dog. Oh my God. That's so funny. All right, I'm not going to do the rest of this video because I think I'm going to pause it every 5 seconds. This dude says dumb shit every 6 seconds. There's no way I can get through this video tonight. We're going to be here until like 4 in the morning, okay? Holy shit. Absolutely amazing. All right, so I'm going to put Noah's video in here. You guys should go and watch the rest of this because this shit is gold. This is one of the most amazing videos I think I have ever watched in my life. All right, here you guys go. That is Noah Sampson. We'll like him and subscribe to him on my second account. So that way he's got 2 subs from me. Good job, Noah. Beautiful video, Noah. Beautiful video. Andy Pants, dog. Get some TRT in your life, big dog. Like, I can feel it. I can hear it. It's okay. It's all right. It's the words you choose. He's got the best words. Most important words. Dude. It's always these dudes. I want to like kind of go back to like the Maury Povich days. I want to drag Andy Pants down to where I grew up. Send him to talk to some of them skinheads that have fucking swastikas tattooed on their face. Be like, go talk to Bear. God, dude. Oh, fuck. I pay so much money to see that shit. Anyways. All right, guys. It's getting late. We're going to do it tomorrow. Yeah, what if your husband... That's exactly why I don't drive, R's wife. It's because my wife's the better driver. Like, I drive way too fast. I get tickets. All right? Like, I do bad things when I'm behind the wheel. That's why my wife won't let me buy a motorcycle. That's also very feminine. It's very feminine, brother. If you're a real man, you just buy the motorcycle. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. If you want to support my channel, don't forget to like the video, first of all. Don't forget to like the video. Subscribe up if you haven't. Please, this is where I beg for money. Join the channel. It's only $3 a month if you can afford it. Join the channel. You can super chat like my dude Fan, who's been asking all the good questions and making me make me work harder. Thank you, Fan. I appreciate you. Alan, I appreciate you as well. Thank you always for the support, guys. Fucking love you guys. Thank you so much. You can super chat. You can join the Angry Ginger Army right below the video there. Anything you want. Anything you want. Just be here. Like it, subscribe it, share it, comment on it. I love all you guys. I'm super thankful for all of you guys. It's not manly to say you love people, bro. It's not manly. All right, guys. Next stream will be tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific. If you're there, you're there. All right, guys. See you next time.